15. NFHell is here. Can we believe it? We're already on week 15. Welcome back, G-Man Jazz and Gobo. If you recall, we had our special guest here last week, Rodeo Raider, Benjamin, and James. We're here helping us out. We want to thank them for joining us. Again, this is the show where we talk about NFL football. We talk a little bit of college here and there, but mainly talk about how our four shitty teams dive bomb into NFHell. I'm your host, Midwest Jet, Davies Marvs.
What's up?
Welcome back. Again, G-Man Jazz. Welcome back.
This year's Purdy DeVito.
And last but not least, Gobo. NFHell, dude. NFHell.
Life is hell. Anyone who tells you elsewise is selling something.
Elsewise, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Elsewise, yes.
I like it. I like it.
Hashtag that.
Kind of died on the vine.
Elsewise.
As you know,
elsewise, yes. Apparently, my grammar is as good as my ability to pick football teams.
I mean, or your quarterback play.
Hey,
Yikes!
Round for the truce. Ricky's picks at the end. Man, oh man, you guys we got a lot to talk to about this week. These two guys, head to head. But first, we want to
you know what I really missed?
What?
I really missed I didn't realize. Well, we had Rodeo Raider and Ben Skull who played each other, and I didn't realize that these two schmoes were also playing each other. So we're gonna have to. I wanted to get the. I mean, you guys were not part of our text stream, so you didn't see the 108 texts that I woke up to.
Between us. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, my phone was in the other room during the game.
Well, I had to talk to somebody
like,
about it. I was watching the game with my infant daughter and my wife who was sleeping in the recliner, and so I was just like, "Hey, what a pass, huh, Maisie?" And she's like, "Duh," like, yeah, she's a baby. I had to text you guys who are just, emotional babies.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I'll take that. I'm a baby. Anyway, speaking of babies, just these little kids playing football in college, making it to the 4-team playoff. Dames and I kind of gave some of our stuff last week. Maybe we'll add in a little bit, but we want to hear. G-Man Jazz says, what about college? Gobo, he's a little more into this college football playoff. Who you like and why? Gobo?
Me? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I think Dames will disagree with me. I think whoever wins the Alabama Michigan is going to roll in the final. I think that honestly, I don't really see Alabama holding much of a candle either. I like Michigan to win the whole thing. I think it's kind of a tragedy that Florida State and Georgia were not included, but they're moving it to 12 teams next year, so we'll have a better idea. This is the last year that it's going to suck, but I mean, I'm sure once it gets to 12, we'll find ways to complain about that too. But I like Michigan.
I'm glad that I let you go first, because that addresses my entire. I don't care who anyone thinks is going to win. It's wide open. These teams don't play each other, and you don't really know until they do. Like, how good is one conference versus another conference? You never know. So that's why it's interesting to watch these things play out. Here's the issue that I have, and it's going to happen even when there's 12. All right, sports, you guys, sports and the outcomes of sports, and we argue about this with officiating every week. There's people complaining about officiating and what is costing you guys on the field. That's not sports. The way that they go about this committee to determine who is the top that's not sports. You guys, there needs to be a better way to determine with tiebreakers, something other than a committee of people deciding who the top teams in the country are. That's not sports. That's not competition. That's a group of people deciding something that we've all focused on our entire lives on watching it play out on a competition field. It's not sports the way they do it, and I hate it. And that's what I didn't say
Politics.
last week.
Politics.
Politics
Money.
does not belong in sports.
Money.
A lot of people watch sports
Money.
to get away from politics. It's
True.
not sports. It's horrible. They need to get away from it and come up with, if they give it to every conference, what is there, 8 conferences, the champion of every conference, and then the top 4 teams decided by record, and then tiebreakers from there. No fucking committee, because that ain't sports. I'll leave it at that. You guys can comment on whatever.
I have a quick question. I mean, I don't
Me-
know that much about the committee, but is the committee made up of people from each conference, and then they all decide and also say like, and I can kind of play devil's advocate, I guess, but like if you have 5, 10 teams that are undefeated, shouldn't they all be in the 12-man thing? If
That's
they're
what
all,
I'm saying. Have a litany of tiebreakers instead of a committee of people that say, "Oh, that team's quarterback is hurt. They're not going to compete against this other." That's bullshit, dude. How many
Right.
times have we seen Jake Brownings and DeVitos rise out of the ashes and play off their asses for a team that was otherwise put down and out? That is not
I mean,
fair. Florida
what-
State was left out because their quarterback is hurt. That is it.
I think what Dames is talking about is removing the subjectivity out of selection and making it all performance based, which yes, in athletic competition should certainly be what it is.
And I'm likening it to a bad call on the field that decides a game. Nobody likes that. Why is it acceptable in college sports? It's stupid. I hate it.
right. I mean, I feel like,
There's so much about college sports that I hate, Dames. I mean,
well, I
But
mean,
the
it's
competition, though.
I love the game on the
competition-
field. I love watching those kids play, but
Yes.
like
The
the whole
competition on the
business of-
field is what keeps you coming back. Like
Right.
Washington basketball beat Gonzaga this week. That's amazing. That's amazing. And that's the way sports are supposed to be. You're supposed to be determined on the surface.
right. I mean, the thing is also though is though we can't compare it, in my opinion, to like the NFL. There's only 32 teams. In college, you have 108. You don't know. Yeah. Well, then if every division winner goes again, I'm playing devil's advocate. Like if they don't play anyone all year and you're LSU and you're playing like Alabama, Georgia, LSU, and then you got to go you don't get in, but yet you're literally way better than that team, even though they went undefeated. So I feel like there has to be a combo. There has to be like a selection committee that goes with and then maybe I don't know, fan voting can also be rigged.
There doesn't, though. If you're arguing against the champions of every division, fine. That's fine. If you don't want that to be your litmus test, that's fine. Take the top teams of record, the top 12 teams of record, and then have like a strength of schedule tiebreaker, a points differential tiebreaker, and do as many as you need to decide who those teams are. There should not be a group of people saying, "I picked this team over this
I know,
team."
but
Those people can be bought.
Men
I
do
mean, I'm not saying that's what happens, but that's when you run into situations where it's not decided by competition, and that's all I'm asking for. Is for these teams to be decided on competition alone.
Right, but I mean, I guess my question with that is strength of schedule comes by who? People who decide who's good and what strength of schedule. I mean, so
That's why you have 12 teams, though. 12 is a lot of teams. You're not going to
Right.
fuck every undefeated team is going to get in. You're going to have 12 awesome teams. You're going to have the Power 5 or Power, however many conferences it goes down to, is the top one in that, and then the rest you just fill out by some standard is what he's saying. You can weight wins, you can weight scoring, you can weight it all. You can do it any way you want to make it
right.
And this is just money. I mean, there's just money thrown around, and that's what it is. Old
Yeah.
rich white dudes. And
There
making-
are-
Like I said, go ahead, Gobo.
There are levels of statistics that Dames is talking about, though, that can make it an analytical decision rather than a subjective one. And I think that that's what we're talking about, is that like everyone has to play by the same standards, and those standards can't be determined by human opinion. It has to be something numbers based.
And feel free to disagree. That's what conversation is all about. I'm
Well,
just
and
saying.
it's just like if
the reason
and if I had
watch
the
sport-
yeah, if I knew, like if I was like some like Rain Man math genius that could that could tell you the stats right now that would determine exactly fairly, what 12 teams should get into the playoffs. But I don't have those numbers. But there are people who do. There are people that are statisticians by trade that can literally figure this out.
Well, I mean, but if I'll play devil's advocate, if you're going to say that, then statistically, there would be in the formula if your star players are out, that you are going to be a decreased valued team. So, science can say that if without Mahomes, the Chiefs
That's
are
what they
not
did.
the same team. So
But that's not
But
statistics. That's
but you
formula.
can't. I don't think it's
well, he
it's
said
fair.
analyzing analytics,
Analytics, not formula or not statistics.
right? Well, if you're,
I get that.
I mean, I don't know. I think that there are base statistics that can help with that decision. I think that
Yes.
record, because I mean, it's like how many teams would have won the Super Bowl without a key injury in the playoffs? I mean, there's got to be 50 examples from the NFL.
I hate to use this example, gentlemen, but it happened to us last night. Gobo was not at all worried about playing the Giants because DeVito is their quarterback and they're the Giants. And I was like, I'm telling you right now, the defense is going to win them the game. And that's what this competition committee is doing. They're saying this guy's hurt, so there's no way that they're going to win. And then that just ruins an opportunity for somebody to come in and showcase that they in fact can do it.
Well, I know,
And
but the
deny an
Giants
entire
are the
team
team.
because one guy's hurt is ridiculous.
I know, I understand it, but then also we also
All
always
right, let me ask
say,
you this straight.
we always
plain
say
and
you
simple.
want the best competition. That's not even going to be.
You can play devil's advocate all you want. My question to you is, do you agree with me or disagree? Because that's all I care about. If you disagree, that's fine. I'm just saying I like my sports determined by actual competition.
Well, no, I'm saying I do too, but I also feel like there also has to be an over.
Why?
What?
Why
Because what if
why
there's
is the play on the
because
field
what
not
if
enough?
there's 15 teams undefeated? 3 have to be left out.
Right, and you determine that based on other factors that are statistical instead
I
of
don't think
opinion.
I don't think there can even be 15 undefeated teams anyway, statistically.
There can't, but that's not the point that he's making. But I get what he's saying. Like, if everybody's an even par, there's not ever going to be an exact even. There's always going to be some factor of statistics,
Right.
whether it be point differential, strength of schedule. I mean, there's like 10 different things that they use to determine the playoffs in the NFL.
Well, I know.
Like,
I mean, well, look at the NFL though. We have a team right now that has this under 500 record going to go to the playoffs.
but that's because but that's not what I'm asking for here. You certainly could do it that way, where each conference champion wins and moves on. But if you just want to go straight up best teams and leave certain conferences, that's fine. I'm fine with that. As long as it's determined by play on the field.
Right, yeah. But our team's going to want to leave their conference then. Why would you be in a conference that I would just go to the SEC then, or go to the Big Ten. They're going to dismember conferences because I'm going to go to this conference and win it every year and go to the playoff.
Yeah, but you're not going to be like UNLV and then go to the SEC and expect to win there. Like, that's just not going to happen.
Okay, but then that's the point is like, so if UNLV wins their conference title, but let's say Georgia loses a game, they don't get in, but they do. But we all know Georgia's way better than them, but they get in because they're undefeated. This is what I'm saying.
Okay, so you throw out the conference champions and just go with the top 12. That's fine. I'm saying there's a way to determine the top 12 without a group of people telling me who it is. That's all. It's not a hard concept. If you want something other than the actual top 12 teams, just say it.
You're saying,
how do they rank them down? All the teams. I'm saying, how do they rank the top 25 in basketball?
Associated Press.
A committee, exactly.
It's a committee, yeah. It's a committee.
Reporters, yeah.
Yeah. So
that's my whole argument. It's not sports.
But I mean, it is though, because that's how they do it, because they want you to bet on the games.
Okay. There's 4 of us right here with different differential in who we root for and what we look at.
Mm-hmm.
Is it fair for us to sit here and put the NFL teams in a 1 to 32 order and then just say, that's it. That's the way it is without any basis other than what we say. That's ridiculous.
But there isn't just that basis. There's also these teams isn't like the other teams that the 4 teams that got in suck. They're also like that you could debate all those 4 teams could be in over Florida State, even though they were undefeated, because they're still Georgia's still better than them. They got beat by Alabama in the SEC championship. So maybe that game shouldn't count. Because I'm telling you right now,
A lot of people think that they were posers all year anyway because they didn't play anybody until they
All
played.
right, let's just move on.
Yeah,
Let's
I mean,
just
we
move
talk
on.
about this.
I just want an answer. Do you want the
From-
top team statistically, or do you want somebody picking? That's all I'm asking.
Well, Jails wants
personally
Top
want the
top
best
team
12
statistically.
teams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
statistically. Jails wants the committee. Everyone else wants statistics.
No, I don't. I said where there has to. I said I want the stats, but there still has to be like.
Well, there doesn't. That's the point. There doesn't.
That's
It can
the whole
just be
point.
statistic.
My
Yet you're
question
not.
is why? Why does there have to be a group of
Yeah,
people
there
that
doesn't
says it
have
when
to
you
be
can
Jails.
determine
There does not have to be.
Right. Well, I mean, because right now, every year we have this discussion for like the last 20, even before there was the BCS, there were still people bitching that why didn't they win the national title when they were undefeated?
And I agree with Jess. It's going to be way better when there's 12, but we're still going to have this discussion and we're still going to have this problem.
But not as maybe as
not as egregious as an undefeated team getting left off, but there's going to be some teams that get hosed at 13 and 14, I'm sure.
There'll be 2 and 3 lost teams that don't make it. If you're 0 or 1,
I love this conversation, you guys. I mean, we can clearly need to move on, but I honestly,
right,
because
it's like Ohio
I
State.
want to hear what people have to say in the comments.
Ohio State, Michigan would both be in this year if you have 2 good Big Ten teams instead of just one, which you kind of get screwed as a conference with only 4 as well. So they have 12 teams. You get
the best conference in the country was the Pac-12, and they got Washington. That's it.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this is we can talk about
that the best conference?
What? Yeah.
The Pac was that the best conference in college football? Really?
Yes.
Okay.
According to who, though?
I was going to say because I think that they are probably the 5th best conference in college football.
They had 4 teams in the top 10 at one point. No one else could say that. I mean, it is what it is.
They play each other. I don't. Whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Fuck college.
Host, let's go, host. Get out. Just move us on.
Welcome
Get us
to
from
college
under this
football.
rock.
The hell.
Damn it.
Anyway, don't forget for the end of the show, Ricky, he's gonna pick. He's not picking college games though. Thank God, because Anyway, let's get on to some news in the NFL, which this show's about. Tyreek Hill tweaked his ankle last night, missed some of the game, tried to come back, had to come back out. Kind of day to day, people are watching, kind of played the Jets this week, so they'll probably sit him out.
I hate that.
Does him being hurt increase his chances of MVP because they just suck without him? Like, he really does add such a dynamic to this team.
He misses a game.
It's amazing. It's amazing how different the team is without him out there. So I don't know if that hurts him by missing a little time or helps him like, hey, look how valuable I am to my team. But he'll be back in no time. And they're in the playoffs pretty much. So will they get the 1 seed?
I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs if he's out.
I mean, they'll make the playoffs, but I think, I think it's really hard to win MVP as a wide receiver anyways. So I think that like any amount off the time is probably any amount of time off the field is probably going to hurt him. But does it really hurt the Dolphins in the long run? I think they got a couple of easy games coming up. I mean, subjectively, of course, because nobody actually knows what the fuck is going to happen in these games, as we could very clearly tell from this last week. But because this was not the only upset over the weekend. Anyways, I'm just saying,
the Dolphins posers though?
I think they are.
Haven't beat a team over 500.
Jails was gonna say, yeah.
They haven't beat a team over 500.
I completely agree. I think the Dolphins defense is so fucking suspect, and you take out Waddle and Tyreek, they're below 500 on the season.
Oh yeah, look at Tyreek already. They just lost to the Titans.
Right. They lost to what fucking Will Levis.
Yeah.
Went to Miami and beat the Dolphins.
Just saying. Hashtag, yeah, they're sus. That's what I'm saying. I've been reading a bunch of things, well, not a bunch, but a few. But like, basically, if Tyreek is kind of tweaky, doesn't come back or whatever, they could lose out. They could lose out and not make the playoffs because the AFC playoff picture is getting tight. Top 8-3, 8-4. Anyway, other injury news that sucks. The guy who we always think could be better every week, or their team, or whatever, Herbie Hancock, LA Chargers quarterback.
Herbie, God,
On the thumb or hand or finger or anybody. I think it's yeah. Yep. So sorry if you're a Chargers fan, that sucks. I mean, your season was already over, but now it's just going to be painful to watch.
Sorry if you own him in fantasy as well. So,
If you,
bitch.
I mean, there's probably. I mean, there's
Manage.
definitely more people who own Justin Herbert in fantasy than there are Chargers fans.
That's definitely
Like,
true.
like for sure, 100%.
Every league,
Yeah.
every single league, he's on it.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Sure.
yeah, who cares? It's a big deal. If the injury makes the Dolphins skid and it changes the landscape of the AFC playoff picture, that's big news. The Chargers losing their quarterback, nobody gives a shit. I mean,
Right.
I like Justin Herbert. I think he's a great quarterback. I think his career is going to go, pretty wasted in fucking Chargerland.
God, I know.
I think we all like him. I mean, there's nothing to
We
not
like him. I mean, he's a very talented kid. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought their coach was going to get fired on Monday if they lost. No, didn't.
What about?
Yes, names.
Let's give some regards to Frank Wycheck, who passed away.
Yeah.
Had a fall in his house.
Ooh, poor guy.
And died. He's only 52. Tight end for
Bills?
no.
Bills?
Maybe he played for the Bills, but it was
Titans.
the
Titans.
Titans.
Right.
Oilers. Yeah.
The
That's
Miracle City thing. He was the guy who threw it.
52 years old.
Damn.
That's crazy.
R.I.P. Bro.
our condolences.
All right.
Any teams on bye this week?
All done.
All done.
They're
All
all
the
done.
buys are done.
The buys have gone.
Well, and maybe this will help our records because I'm going to give the results of our records this week, and it's
You
pretty.
don't have to.
Yikes. We go from like 2 weeks ago where we're all like, oh, I'm 10-5, I'm 11-3, whatever, blah, blah. Gobo rolling in, dead last this week, 4-11.
4-11. Let's go.
Demon Jazz got you by 1 week. I mean, you guys weren't here and you just picked like shit. 5-10 G-Men. I also picked like shit and I was here, so I don't know what I'm saying. 7-8, just a little under 500. And Dames Marv's the only one over 500 this week of skiing 8-7.
Yeah, buddy. You just squeaked about it.
So I gained a couple games on Jazz. Dames game 3. Gobo. Condolences. Anyway. And I feel like we said this, and I'm sure maybe you guys thought it at home. It's like everybody's picking Pittsburgh.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I believe we always tell our truth before this week, if I stand
You want to
corrected.
do that? We want to do that?
Why? I don't know why we
We
wouldn't.
do.
Why we wouldn't? Tell the truth.
All right, I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and tell my truth, guys.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, Jazz.
Make it short and sweet. My truth is I now have hope. And we have this year's Brock Purdy. That is my truth. That is my hope. That's my truth.
All right. Okay. I'm going to go next because I'm going to refer back to my truth before this week. And the Jets also pulled off a victory. I said, losing all hope is freedom. I was just like, you know what? Who gives a shit? I'm just going to watch the game, have a good time. high five when we do good, go get a drink when we do bad, hang out. Wow, what a good game it was. Win, lose, blah 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 blah. So, my truth is I'm letting this train gonna keep on rolling. I don't give a shit about this week's game against the Dolphins. Win, lose, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Truth. Dames.
Can we let Gobo go first? I got a situation I'm dealing with here.
Oh, your infection in your groin area.
Yes.
Gobo. I was gonna save you for last because I figured this.
No, I have some opinions about Jass's truth, but I will save them to the discussion of the recap of last night's football match. So my truth about my Green Bay Packers is that I hate this position. Jails just said giving up hope is freedom with football. And god damn it, before the fucking Lions game on Thanksgiving, I was there. I had submitted myself to the depths of football mediocrity, expecting the Packers to lose out, expecting major fucking changes administratively, player-wise next year, getting a high draft pick. But here we are in the playoffs. Now we're in a five-way tie. A five-way tie at 6-7 for the last wild card spot. For the right to go into San Francisco or to go into Philly and get blown out on national television. So, I don't fucking know what this season is. There's been so many weird fucking games and weird upsets and players not playing to their potential, rookies making big names for themselves and then disappearing into, working at Costco. Like, I don't fucking understand football anymore. My truth is I feel very bad at what I do right now. And I can tell you, I made a proclamation before the game because I texted my picks and Jass is like, "Oh my God, you picked the Packers. Thank you so much." Because the Packers won 3 games in a row and I bet against them. And I said, if they lose this game, I'm never picking the Packers on this show again. I'm not picking them again, including the last game of the season. I'm going to have to pick the Bears.
NFHell.
How fucking painful that is.
NFHell.
NFHell. James, I hope your infection is better, bud.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for giving me time to sort that out. I'm still nowhere near sorted out for this power situation, but we'll figure it out. So truth, God damn it. The truth is the Seahawks have not lost 4 games in a row under the Pete Carroll era until now. And this week, Philadelphia is coming to town. They're a team that I think is beatable. I've been saying it all year. I'm not really overly impressed by anything that they do. They've gotten smoked the last 2 weeks. Aside of winning games that they should win in ugly fashion, they're like the heavy version of the Chiefs this year. Like they were winning games, but it was not pretty until the Chiefs' current situation. But I guess they're both in the same situation. Yeah, those teams are mirroring each other right now. Both went to the Super Bowl. Both come back. They're winning games, but it ain't pretty. It's not a pretty look this year. So can Seattle beat them and avoid a 5-game losing streak? Guess you'll have to see what I say in the prediction comments portion of the show. But the truth is, this defense is 27th in the league. That's the worst. It hasn't been that low since before Pete Carroll got here. And so much focus has been on the offense this season. and with the ups and downs of Geno Smith wanting to see Drew Lock start. Well, we got a Drew Lock start, and it was garbage. Like, I mean, oh, he didn't get first team reps until Friday because Geno didn't get hurt until Thursday. I mean, you can make all the excuses in the world, but what I saw from Drew Lock is the same thing that he's always done, and that is make bad decisions. He puts the ball in harm's way. I'm not saying that Geno has not made the turnover or two this year, but I'm not watching the game going, oh my God, he's totally careless with the ball. You can see that he's not careless with the ball. It just sometimes shit happens. Drew Lock is decidedly careless with the ball. He had one miracle throw and catch by DK Metcalf in the end zone. Then he had a garbage touchdown. But he had 2 other interceptions, and he had 3 more dropped. Actually, he had 1 called back from a penalty, and then 2 others dropped. And this is something you can't do against that team. Was I proud about the way we played? No, not at all. I mean, it was way closer than the game on Thanksgiving, but that team is just they're here's the thing. You got 2 wide receivers that can take it to the house every time. You got a running back that can take it to the house every time. You have a tight end that can take it to the house every time. No other team in the NFL has that those players like that in that situation. So that said, there's a lot of shit that you got to look at on the field, and I'm just going to say the biggest truth of this entire scenario, Jamal Adams is the worst player in the NFL for pay.
Jordan Love's in the league still.
For pay rate.
God, I wish I had a Jamal Jets jersey. Damn it. I knew I should have.
Daniel Jones is pretty expensive as well, bud.
Dude.
Oh, sorry to interrupt your truth.
But Jamal Adams does nothing.
Your short
good.
Truth.
Literally nothing good. So it's the truth, guys.
The matter, the truth, you know? All right.
Well, this is what hurts my feelings the most, you guys, on Jamal Adams. He restructured his contract before the season started, and I remember thinking, oh, they're going to go get DeForest Buckner with all this extra money we got, right? And you guys remember this whole thing?
I do.
Get over it.
That restructure means we can no longer drop him at the end of the season and save $9 million in cap. That means we have to basically either cut him and be done with him, or we have to pay him. And
what are you doing?
He's probably going to be on our. I'm not happy about it at all. So he's bad.
Got Garrett Wilson and.
Oh, we should have talked about that. What he fucking did to that reporter. The reporter, the Jets reporter guy that posted him getting burned by Dallas. And he posted it and it said, yikes. And then Jamal Anderson responded with a picture of the dude's wife and put yikes underneath it.
Jamal
Anderson did that last week.
Adams,
yeah. And when they called him on it, he said, you go low, I go lower. He didn't even take it back. He's like, you go low, I'll go lower. He's like, that guy's been messing with me since I was on the Jets. Well, then he goes out.
What would you say?
He said, I got to go puke or something. I don't know. But, dude, we should have talked about it in the news.
Dude, that is Jamal Adams. Please, we can talk about that next week. Tune in next week when we're going to talk about Jamal Adams, piece of shit, ass, because we both had to deal with him.
Yeah, something's got to take over the college playoffs at the beginning. Jamal Anderson or Jamal Adams watch.
Jamal Anderson. Are you doing the Dirty Bird?
The Falcons.
The Dirty Bird. Anyway,
it was really good for a minute.
Look, he's not even worth my remembering his name. So
this is craziness, dude. This is craziness. Well, whenever Gobo gets back, he'll rejoin us. Going into week 14 recap. I swear to God, every time we do this on a Thursday night, Pittsburgh should win this game. Everybody picks them. Dames doesn't fucking pick them because I think we talked you out of it last week. Patriots, really? They win this game? What is trash? They're trash. But Pittsburgh.
They looked good, and they looked good doing it.
Yeah, Zappy. Was it Zap?
Yeah,
Zappy?
from opening drive.
Zippy.
So I mean, Pittsburgh, I mean, they had a backup. They were backup. I can't believe Trubisky went first round how many years ago, and now he is just a pile of shit. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that. I've drafted 3 or 4 quarterbacks that are pieces.
We've all
Well,
seen it. Yeah, it's a tragic story of not drafting Pat Mahomes, I believe, and trading
Yeah,
up
or
Trubisky.
anyway, yeah, the trade for Trubisky. I mean, that was the Bears. So anyway, moving on from that Thursday night game, Belichick, guess his seat cooled down. He's not in NFL with us. Tampa Bay, Atlanta. It paid off, Dames. It paid off this week. My love affair with the Bucks for some reason. Everyone else picked Atlanta, and I took old Baker and Bowles and the Bucks on the road. Atlanta. God, and here's the deal. I'm like, the thing that pains me the most is the Jets lost to Atlanta the week before. I'm like, why the fuck wasn't Zach Wilson playing? It's just frustrating because then I'm like, and now
wow, that's like the first time that was ever said by an individual person. Why wasn't Zach Wilson? That's just a sentence you don't hear.
That's a T-shirt right there. That's a fucking T-shirt now. Right
that's
there.
an NFL T-shirt. We just have NFL on the back, and then on the front we have
Nice.
Mine's
That's a good idea.
of course. Anyway,
Are we talking about the Jets game now? Or what happened here? Why are we talking
Tampa
about
Bay,
Zach Wilson?
Atlanta. James is the one doing the dirty bird, bro. So I thought maybe he did pick the Falcons. So we thought maybe, there he is. Dirty bird. That's what we're doing right now. Falcons game. You took Atlanta. They lost.
I did, and they did. Yeah, sorry, that was a very important phone call, but
You're good, man. You're good.
turned out to be less important than I was hoping. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking Baker. I thought I picked Tampa in this game, but I probably didn't.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
It's all right. But no one else did either except for me because we were just talking. I have a thing for the Bucks this year for some reason. I don't know. I just think they're better than they are or they should.
The NFC South leading Bucks.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'm not that far. Guess I'm not that far off. Thanks, Gobo.
I was like, you're not that far off. There's a 3-way tie for first place in that division.
Rams, Ravens. Baltimore. Gobo, I'm pretty sure I didn't get a game for you on this, but I think you missed a few. I'm sure you were, there was like 3 games that you didn't get me. G-Man Japs didn't give me 1 game, so I'm like.
Interesting.
Hang on, I'm checking the text messages.
Hey, I would have picked Miami on the game I forgot. I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I mean, I was pretty obviously going to pick Baltimore.
Yeah, well, you didn't.
And I did, and it was
right
a crazy game.
Yeah,
because they are likely. It's like you put him in instead of Andrews. It's just the same. Like they got 2 really good tight ends. I just wish they would use both of them when he comes back. But
right, and then Lamar. Dude, this team could be dangerous. This could be a team where, no one's. I feel like it's weird that I mean, not no one's talking about them, but like kind of. They're still focused on the Bills who are 2 games under, like barely going to get in. The Chiefs who are struggling. The Ravens though, I feel like they feel like a team who score a lot of points. A lot of games either get close and they hold it off, or they lose right at the end. I feel like their defense is a little sus, but
little sus.
Little sus.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I forgot we were going to talk about MVP favorites, and I was going to say I think I have Lamar as my MVP favorite right now. To be honest with you guys. So if we want to pull them out as we get to those games, or wait till between, I don't know, but that's what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, that was a good idea that we just failed to.
Yeah, my bad.
And I just thought of it.
Yeah, I even circled it on my little sticky note.
I mean,
dumbass.
I too was gonna pick Lamar as my MVP candidate.
You can.
The Ravens are. I mean, they're looking like a real contender in the AFC, man. I mean, I don't see a game that they wouldn't be favored in if the playoffs were to start today. So yeah, man, Lamar's doing it, and he's manning that helm. I think they're the most impressive team of the teams that are being led by stars right now.
Yep. I'll discuss my MVP pick when I get to the game. I have a guy in mind. So next game, the Bears. The fuck.
Anybody picked them? Dames picked them?
I said on the show that I wanted to pick him, but that I just couldn't responsibly do that. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Fields. I mean, what is going on?
I like this team a lot. Like when they Gobo, roll your eyes all you want, bro.
I'm going to
Field, and they're going to get 2 first top 10 picks next year.
DJ Moore says they're winning out and making the playoffs. That's his little bold.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And Justin Fields is a.
Who all do they have left?
Hey, it's possible, man. This year is crazy, and the Giants won a game, and now they are 1 game out of the wild card. And if we would have lost, we would have been a top 5 pick. So there's so many teams right in that 5 and 7 to 6 and 8 range with 4 games left. Like it's going to get crazy.
It is. I just can't believe Detroit. What is going on?
Yeah, I think. Well, and I think that to Dame's point, the Bears are not good this year, but next year, after they have 2 top 10 picks, if they pick the right guys, like if I was the Bears, get 2 offensive linemen in the first 10 picks, you're ready to go.
Right.
I mean, honestly,
wait.
yeah,
I wouldn't take Marvin Harrison Jr. with one of those.
Yeah, maybe.
I realize that you don't want the Bears to have him. I totally
no.
Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah,
but that's all that is.
Fuck the Bears. He's
him and one O lineman. Him and one O lineman would do.
Yeah.
Fuck the Bears. Yeah. You think the Packers are an intolerant fan base?
The Bears
need show.
The Bears with their first 2 picks need a long snapper and a punter.
And a shorter long snapper.
If they get that, watch out.
Championship.
Holder.
All right, NB Cincy. I bet against the kid in Cincy.
Why?
I don't know why. You took him, though. You took
Washington alum, dude.
Fuck, I didn't pick this game either. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
good.
Man, why didn't you say anything?
Well, I didn't know it until today when I put it in my. I did it today.
Nuts. That's all right.
I'm sorry.
He looks good.
Yeah.
Take accountability for your own actions.
No, I refuse.
And that's how we do it here on NFL. Cracker, how'd you do at home? I know you said you were playing along this week. Thanks again. Sure
I might have picked Indy in this game.
You might have.
I don't trust Browning. I love DeForest Buckner.
Yeah, and
Colts won some big games, but yeah, I would have probably picked the Colts in this one. I'll be honest.
I mean, that was a good game down the. I mean,
yeah,
I did see Brown threw a pick 6 early, but he shook it off, man. He played like a champ after that. So,
all right. I mean, yeah, and I mean, Indy is one of those teams. I feel like every time I fucking pick them, they lose, and every time I don't pick them, they win. I feel like that's my team this year, where I'm just like, I have no idea about them. So anyway, Cleveland, Jacksonville. It was the first week I don't know. I could finally pick Cleveland because Dick Touch guy is out for the season. So I picked the Browns and they won. And again, Big Dick tripping over his big dick all game. That's some trouble there, I think. G-Men, agreed?
His dick is tripping him up, and yeah, he's speaking of inconsistent, it seems like when you want them or think that they're just finally getting it, then they just I don't know, man. If I was a Jaguars fan, I'd be perplexed a little bit.
I'm gonna liken this to a early season Joe Burrow situation. I think he's clearly not 100% after last week. So I'm not giving him a pass because if you can't play, you shouldn't play. But if you play, you should be expected to perform at your normal levels. And I think there's a little bit of wiggle room in that situation where they just feel like their starters are that much better than their backups, so they put him out there in situations that they shouldn't otherwise be in. But yeah, that was a tough loss.
Yeah. Gobo, thoughts?
I picked this one right. So get that on record.
Did you pick it for that reason?
I picked it because, yeah, exactly. Because I knew that Lawrence was hurt. I know that Cleveland's been hot at home. Flacco's been finding a way to complete passes. Like I really like that David Njoku. I think the Browns, they got a good defense. They got a solid receiving core. That's kind of all you need to beat up on an injured team. I mean, Lawrence he's really talented, but yeah, there's something definitely wrong with him.
Yeah, Joe Flacco also, guys. Joe Flacco. 30
Joe Flacco is playing in the NFL right now.
and winning.
Well,
He played well. Dang. It's just weird seeing him in a Cleveland because he was a Raven, which used to be Cleveland, which went to Baltimore. It's like, whoa. Carolina, New Orleans. Everyone picked. Who did? New Orleans. Carolina's fucked, man. I feel like they are like screwed for the next how many years? I feel like because Bryce Young is not the answer. Just letting you guys know that.
Yeah, they sold the farm to bring Bryce Young in, and there is no supporting cast around him, and he cannot make dynamic plays on his own.
And no draft pick.
Yeah, dude, the Panthers are fucked. They need like some like angels in the outfield fucking like intervention right now.
Yep, I agree.
But yeah, like who cares about this game? Yeah, Saints are bad. Still beat the shit out of the Panthers.
Derek Carr, I'm so glad he did not become a Jet, even though, my God, we wouldn't have got Rodgers, yeah, but then he would be my start. No thanks. I feel like he's just this.
I feel like that puts you in a very similar situation to where you're in now.
Yeah, right. I'd rather have Zach. At least he has a higher ceiling. Weird, you know what Derek Carr can do? Nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing. Speaking of, and I don't know. I mean, how long we'll wait for it? I kind of wanted Dames to be here on this game, but
I'm here.
Oh yeah, we can hear him, but we can't see him. Awesome.
My power situation.
Houston comes to New York or New Jersey, we should say. And the Jets destroyed them. 30-6. What's that?
You didn't pick the Jets, did you?
No, I last week and Gobo wasn't here, and I said, you know what? In honor of Gobo not being here, I'm gonna pull the Gobo, pick against my team, because then they'll win. Voila. What do you fucking know? NFHell.
This was the best game in the Jets. Best game for the Jets in the last 2 years.
I mean, they were clicking on all cylinders. They scored four straight possessions. Zach took care of the football. Brees had a couple good screens, runs. Their defense
looked great.
Dominated. Stroud looked like a rookie in this game. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. But I feel like, you know, partially, obviously, the Jets' D is good, but he also is missing his top receiver. His number 2 receiver got hurt, like, first series, maybe. So he didn't have his 2 top guys.
Concussed.
Yeah, he got concussed, basically, and I thought he was going to be out, but whatever. I guess he was fine. Because did he come back in, or was that that was already when the game was already. I can't remember. Anyway, big win for the Jets, and by big win I mean we won 0 games in November. We started losing in December, and I was like, good Lord. So I'm happy for Zach Wilson. I hope he can build off of it. And actually it was one half of football, Dames. It was 0-0 at half. And then the Jets scored 30 points in the second half. Opening drive, marched down for a touchdown. Randall Cobb got his first Jet shot. So, anybody got anything to add to this game? Stroud looked like, seriously, he threw for -8 yards like all the way into the third quarter. He had like -8 yards passing.
Weather games.
Yep.
You know, in bad weather, they say that offense has the advantage on a slippery field. I don't agree with that at all. I think defensive players can make more dynamic athletic plays than offensive players, and so yeah, like if you look, unless a team is like just completely overmatched, I think the better defense is going to win in a bad weather game. And
I have a different opinion.
the Jets have a better defense than Houston.
I think you can work it. I think if you're running the ball, you definitely have an advantage as an offense against the defense. But I think it's less of an advantage than if you're throwing the ball, because if you call plays that the ball's in the air before the route is complete, you're the offense and you know exactly where you need to be, and the defense is just reactive. That's where they're saying that the advantage comes, because you can make your break and they can't keep up with
Just
you.
like
I mean, Zach Wilson threw for
Real
300 some
opinion,
yards.
man.
So
Yeah, so don't tell me it can't. I mean, don't tell me there's nothing to what I'm saying, because if Zach Wilson can burn you by just throwing to a spot on the field,
here we
I don't know. I think Zach Wilson played his best game that he will ever play. And but I think the Jets defense is what did it. If Stroud would have went out there and cooked, it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm just suggesting that there's arguments for both sides of the ball having an advantage in weather games.
There's also the argument that they're all playing on the same field and it doesn't fucking matter. They're playing. Play the game. So I always love playing tennis ball, baseball in the pouring rain, and it brings a different element than the normal weather, where some players I think do just get up and have like that huge game, like that Iowa State running back a couple weeks ago in the snow, and like it can get real interesting, and the Jets just totally dominated the defensive side. Correct.
Yeah, it was most fun I've had watching a Jets game this in like the last 2 years, pretty much. So there's that. JETS. All right, moving on. Minnesota, Vegas.
Oh,
man, fuck this game.
So the Jets game was 0-0 at half. So was this game. That's the first time two games have been at half 0-0 in the same week since like 1930. It's like some insane fucking number. So good job, Jets, back in the record books with the Vikings.
Funny thing is, like you get Justin Jefferson back. Like, oh man, we're scoring points without him. Wait till we get him back. He gets sent to the hospital or whatever. And
I talked to a Vikings fan about this game, and she was like, "Yeah, this is Justin Jefferson's not coming back next year. Like, they're gonna find a way to deal him because he doesn't want to play in that system. He's not motivated. I just like." Fuck this game. Like, how are two professional teams step on the field and score 3 points? Like, how is that acceptable?
And not with dominating defenses at all. Yeah,
right, exactly. Yeah, this isn't like, Pittsburgh versus Dallas in the 70s where it's just all defense. But like, no, these are fucking.
They still scored points though. That's
right. This is Devontae Adams and Justin Jefferson on a football field, arguably the two best wide receivers in the NFL. Not Tyreek is obviously better than both of them, but
two of the top five.
Two of the better guys.
Yeah, two of the top guys that we would all take.
And 3-0.
Pretty much at the buzzer too. It was like at the end or like toward like west.
And they were in Minnesota too, right?
Well, and Hawkinson is Hawkinson's a top tight end too. So yeah, that's
yeah.
Dobbs got benched.
Whatever. I did get it right.
Fuck him.
I did not get this right.
Oh no, me neither. I did.
Oh, you guys picked Vegas? I picked Minnesota.
Yeah, you both. Yeah, you two got it right. We got it wrong. Dame's
you ready
for your game, dude? Let's go. Let's hear it. Seattle at San Fran.
Christian McCaffrey should be MVP of the NFL season.
That's my pick.
I'm going to tell you why. All right. Everything they do is predicated on how dangerous of a player he is. It's absolutely ridiculous that they have him able to do what he does out of the backfield and Debo Samuels that can also do, about 3/4 of what he can do out of the backfield. So I struggle to go back between which 49er is the MVP of the league of football. And I have to land on McCaffrey because the guy is just when he's stopped in the backfield for 4 yards, he gets 6 +6. When you don't touch him at all, he gets 75 on the first play of the game, down to the 2-yard line, making 6 different guys go basically end up as fucking comatose. They're laying in puddles of their own shit and piss after the first play of the game.
Jamal Adams, was he one of
the how did he what happened? How did he get stopped at the 2?
Who was it that Reek caught him, I think? Because he made
somebody caught him
back. He cut back in from like 4 different guys, and
I got you.
He ran into Reek. But yeah, I was like, how do you? Yeah, you got like, man, you got to finish that. You got to finish that rush. Yeah. But yeah, they scored on us in 2 plays, and then Drew Lock happened. He drove us down the field through a miracle 40-yard touchdown to DK, and it really was a weird pass that just happened to slip through the defense, and Metcalf made a miracle catch on it. But there wasn't a whole lot of highlights on this game. The defense is just bad, and it all starts with Jamal Adams. Terrible. And I think actually Quandre Diggs didn't have a terrible game, but just the fact that they're the highest paid tandem of safeties and they can't cover anybody. Julian Love looked absolutely stupid against Kittle like 4 different times. And I love the guy.
He did have an interception. He
did, but that was just because Debo Samuels clipped it right into his hands.
Right.
I mean, the game we were 14-10 at halftime. I felt like we should have been leading at halftime. And then, we scored again. Let's talk about this. This is what I really want to talk about. Chasing points. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on chasing points, but I'm of the opinion that you don't do it until you absolutely have to do it. Like, if you make an extra point, don't go for 2 on your next touchdown.
No.
And that's all. That's like 9 times out of 10, that's going to burn you in the ass later on in the game.
Always extend it. I agree, 100%.
What if you always went for 2?
The point unless you have to. It drives me nuts. Anyway, that's all. That's all. It was a shitty game.
Yeah, and I'm gonna piggyback with you because my MVP was McCaffrey as well, because I'm just like, who does the most for their team, blah blah, and is playing at a high level. I mean, this guy scored a touchdown in how many straight games going into last season and this season. Every time you turn it on, he's, like you said, he's having a long run. He's busting this. He's catching one out of the backfield. He's throwing a block. He's like, and remember where he was in Carolina.
Yeah, well, he allows Brock Purdy to be what he is.
Yeah.
That to me, he's the biggest aid for Brock Purdy's success. I'm wondering if they didn't have McCaffrey, what kind of Brock Purdy you'd see. Right. And I'm not saying that he would be bad. I'm just saying it would not be the same.
Well, yeah, because they can't load the box because they got studs, and they can't play soft because Brock has it made. So
thank you for bringing it up. This is okay. There was some scrums at the end of the game with DK Metcalf getting ejected for punching a dude in the face after he got punched in the back of the head. But the press conferences, man, this is how you know things are bad in Seattle. First of all, Shanahan's like saying that Seattle plays soft defense. And that's just got to burn Pete Carroll through his fucking pants, dude. But Brock Purdy, on the play, he goes, I saw Jamal Adams flat-footed, so I just threw over his head. Dude, you never see you hear him say the safety. I saw the safety was flat-footed, but he said him by name in the press conference. I'm like, that's the ultimate disrespect.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, I mean, I hate it because it's my team, but I love it because I fucking hate Jamal Adams with a
Right.
passion that burns deep in my soul. But I just hate that it was disrespect against my team, but he fucking deserved every bit of it. But that's fucked up. How often do you guys see that? Never.
Yeah, never.
Disrespect.
There was that Richard Sherman Crabtree interview after the game.
Oh yeah.
But that was like spur of the moment after the game. This is press
Right.
conference. Like,
It was a press
I've had
conference.
time
Yeah,
to think about it. I'm calculating what I say. It's not based on emotion. It's just like I have no respect for that team. I'll just say if I did. And it's to the point where it's funny because they beat us 5 times in a row now. So
I honestly just watching the 49ers this year when they're cooking, man, they are a hard team to beat. I mean, they took some weird losses. I think that if Christian remains healthy, they're probably the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. I think we'd all pretty
So,
much.
I don't know.
And
So
I'll
I'm
be
changing my vote.
anybody that takes them out before that.
No, I think the only reason I think Lamar should get MVP over Christian McCaffrey, and I think it could honestly be either one of those guys. Christian McCaffrey is amazing; he's an amazing player, but I think Lamar is doing more with less support on offense. Christian McCaffrey is surrounded by weapons. He's the best one, but
he is the weapon. Yeah,
he's the best guy on that team, but it's a great team.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if Purdy sneaks in for, some MVP votes too, depending on kind of how the stats finish out the season. And I'm ready to see right now the best 2 teams in the NFC are the Cowboys and 49ers. So that I want to see that matchup with, I would never want my division team to go Super Bowl, so I'd have to go for the Niners in that situation. But be a good game.
Yep. Speaking of Super Bowl contenders, beginning of the year, Buffalo, Kansas City, people circling this one on the thing. Go into Kansas City. This is all over the internet. I'm sure you've seen Patrick Mahomes going ape shit on the sidelines because his player was lined up offsides.
He was very offsides. They shouldn't have let the
offsides.
Yeah, I saw it earlier.
It's just like, okay. Just because the play was awesome, I will give him that. That was fucking awesome. But if you would have just completed a Kelsey and he fell down, they called it, you would have came back, blah, blah, blah. Just because they scored a touchdown, you're all like, this is such bullshit. They never call. Yes, okay, first off, they don't call this? That's what I want to know. Is this true?
If it's a dead ball penalty on the offense, they're not supposed to let the play out. So the refs did make a mistake, but it doesn't mean that the Chiefs should get a free touchdown.
Right.
He was off. Tony was offsides.
Oh yeah,
by a lot.
Yeah, by a lot. Dames?
I think Travis Kelce's a douche, and he's been hanging around with Patrick Mahomes so much that now Patrick Mahomes is a douche. That was really douchey to go up to Josh Allen after the game and be like, fucking offensive offsides, that's the worst call I've ever seen in my life. Like, you lost, dude. Just shut the fuck up and take it like a man, dude.
Yeah, you know how many calls the Chiefs have got? Let's get
I know.
these flashbacks
I just
them getting a call.
Patty. This is like the Richard Sherman thing, dude. Like, everybody was like, I hate that guy now. And I got it. As a Seahawks fan, I was like, I loved it, but I got it. I get like why everyone's like, that guy's an angry piece of shit. Like, that's just what Mahomes look. And now that I'm seeing it on another team, it does. It looks stupid and it makes me hate him. So I'm sure fans are like, yeah, stick up for us. Like I was for Sherman, but like the rest of the world doesn't see it that way. You just look like a douche. So
I just think it's comical because it's Kadarius Toney. So it's like, hey, there's probably a reason. There's probably a reason this play is never called because the fucking receiver gets there, looks over, and the official will tell him to come back. Toney just stands there, looks down at the ball, and the official can't see the ball. They have to call that. They can't fucking even see the ball because he's so far forward. It's like, dude, what is this guy like? At what point are you just like, okay, can't rely on this guy? Come on, Tony. Come on, Tony.
Not very. It wasn't even questionable. He was over the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
What I
even
don't
a
understand is, the Chiefs kind of seem to be unraveling a little bit.
Yeah.
We haven't seen them lose 2 games in a row since 2021, and it's like, what exactly is the issue? I think there's multiple issues here. I mean, it's just like the play calling has been weak. Their third down conversions have been weak. Mahomes hasn't been very accurate. He hasn't been mobile out of the pocket. I mean, they could fuck this season. Like, they have one of the most talented rosters, definitely in the AFC. But like, yeah, if they don't get their shit together, man, they're gonna fall apart. And
Well, I think
I remember they were
good.
calling Arrowhead Burrowhead after the Bengals kept beating them. Now
Allen head.
Wait, what are they calling it?
Allenhead. Well, I'm calling it Allenhead. Yes, Josh Allen will take care of business. Anybody who beats the Chiefs at home, the stadium gets named after their quarterback.
Yes, actually, Josh Allen owns them in the regular season. He's like 4-1 now, I think, with that win.
And dare I say, hey, hold on. Dare I say it is inevitable that Chelsea will decline. He is 2 to 3 years older than every tight end that's ever been a monster has faded 2 to 3 years before this. Like, is he fading now? And can the young receivers pick it up enough to give it one last run with Kelsey here?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. He does look slowed out there, and he doesn't. It's just not the same since.
Yeah, if you look at the Chiefs receiving core without Tyreek and with an aged Kelsey, it's like, who's your next guy up? Marcus Valdez Scanlon, really?
Yeah, because they let
the rookie Rashi Rice. Yeah, it's not a good.
This is something we got to look at, you guys. The Chiefs turn it on in the playoffs, but let's talk about this. They better turn it on now, because they're going to end up having something happen that's never happened to them before, and that's going on the fucking road in the playoffs. And I worry about that team outside of Arrowhead if they can't even win in Arrowhead. So they better start winning now, or they're going to be on the road for the playoffs, and that is bad news.
Right. Agreed. Well, the thing is next game we talk about, this is a team who, let's not say they can't do it, because Denver is on fire. They win again on the road. Russell Wilson, Sean Payton, that team they destroyed. Yeah. They destroyed.
Broncos head out of here.
Yep. So I would say one of these teams, like, their defense is playing better. Sean Payton and Russell are starting to kind of click. Look out. You never know. Let's ride into the playoffs. Question? Dames? Let's go.
Dude, the game they lost was very close, and it came down to just Russell not being able to get it done in the fourth quarter. And I hate to say that, because he got them all the way there, and they didn't win, not because he wasn't performing. They should have won that game. And then we'd be talking about, holy shit, they won 7 in a row.
Right.
6 out of 7 after starting 1-5, 1-6,
1-5, yeah.
1-5. That's
1-5, or was it 1-5?
Yeah, I think it was 0.
I think it was, yeah.
I'm trying to think of the first game they won. Yeah, the first game they won was against the Bears, so they started 0-5.
The Bears.
Yeah, because they opened against Vegas, and Vegas whooped them.
Vegas won by 1 point.
That's a whooping. What are you talking
about? It still win. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they lost by 50 fucking points, and now they're about in
right. They did. They gave up a 70 burger.
Yeah, they gave up 70 points, and then watch. Denver's gonna get in the playoffs and beat Miami.
Oh,
they're gonna fucking win that game.
This playoffs is gonna be.
Set it here first. I
don't care what teams are in it. Like,
what a fucking thing that would be
at this point. But it's going to be so much fun to watch the playoffs this year. And here's what I think, you guys. I think if Denver gets in the playoffs, they might be my favorite to go.
Weird. You like? Why are you we all know?
Doctor,
you don't need to fucking. It might be my favorite. You little man crush.
Dude. Okay, but I was just following what I saw on the field. You guys, it wasn't
sure
They were awful last year, and they were awful to start this year. I'm going to react to that.
Comment below right now.
I'm going to react to that.
Okay, let's do it.
But we all questioned whether Peyton could turn this around in one season, and I'm going to say right now, if the season ended today, he has done that. they're playing really good football right now. And Russell Wilson is doing what he's being asked to do. He's not cooking. He's
It's
just
true.
playing.
To your point, the Chiefs aren't what they are. Who's the other ones? The Bengals lost Joe Burrow. The Jacksonville, I mean, they're not dominant. Who else
Right.
is
You
there
guys
in
think
the
about
Yeah,
this.
AFC?
who's
Like
the
they're
Came
who's the
in
pride of the
this
AFC
season,
right
Bills,
now?
the
The fucking
Dolphins,
Ravens.
when we came
Ravens.
into
Yeah,
this season, we were like
Ravens
the
could
AFC,
beat the Broncos.
the
the
Ravens would
AFC
be the
is so
favorite.
much better. Sorry, everyone was talking at once. When we came into this season, we were all like the AFC is so much better than the NFC. I don't
True.
see it that way anymore.
No, not at all.
I think the three strongest teams are in the NFC right now.
Mhm.
Two of them at
So-
least.
I think 2 out of the 3, yeah, but
Well, who you even out? Dallas or Philly?
Dallas.
Probably the Eagles because their defense is so
Fuck out of
suspect
here,
now.
Philly. Philly.
49ers, Eagles,
Just
Ravens.
proof that there's an
Those are the teams to beat.
That was
Committee.
just proof that there's an argument to be
Is
made.
when does the Chargers coach get fired? Before the season? I want to do some.
Oh, he should get fired like today.
I think he
Did
should
it
get
already
fired.
happen or not? Did it happen?
No, not yet.
Is it still Dean Spanos? Is that their coach?
Is it
No.
Staley?
I don't know.
No, that's
Blaine Staley.
Blaine
Yeah.
Staley.
Yeah, that's right. Joe Staley.
Anyway, all right. Game of the week, which Dames and I were here. You guys weren't here and you picked Philly, but we were here saying how Philly sucks. And what's funny is I rarely watch any pregame, and I watch Rex Ryan, of all people, talking about how Philly runs a vanilla defense because they don't have linebackers that can cover, blah, blah, blah. They have all this shit. And literally Dallas just does what he said. I'm like, Rex, boy, come back to the league. Come on, we miss your dynamic defensive mind. So I mean, I called this. I just feel like Dallas is playing well. Dak is playing MVP. That they win the division, get the 2 seed. He could be MVP.
He snuck into my conversation in my head when I was figuring it out. Oh, yuck. Yeah, I'm sitting here having to say McCaffrey and Purdy. Yuck. I get it, bro. I get it. But and I'm not a fan of the Cowboys at all. In fact, like outside of my division, they're the team I hate the most.
Yeah,
But I gotta call it a spade. And the dude is playing at least the last 3 weeks. He's playing. Dude, ever since CD Lamb was put in
It's like 7 weeks. It's like 7 weeks, dude. It's on fire.
Like,
It's
why
like
you
2 months.
so
He's been
long?
fine. Gobo,
Leads
got
the NFL. Leads the
you
NFL.
know, I don't know what to say about this game. Dallas is so inconsistent, and I think that like because they've been playing well the last couple of weeks, I think we are putting aside how much they struggled at the beginning of the year. I think that yes, they do have some huge defensive playmakers. I think that CeeDee Lamb is one of the best receivers in the league. I think that Tony Pollard is definitely an upgrade from Zeke Elliott. So like the Cowboys are a good team. I don't think they're elite. I don't think that they're like on pace to win the Super Bowl. I just think Dak Prescott, I mean, even when he was in his prime, still couldn't perform in the postseason. So I don't see them winning a divisional round. I think that, they're definitely a playoff team. They're definitely one of the better teams in the NFC. I just I'm still on that Philly hype train. They've taken 2 bad losses in a row now. I think there's room to grow, but I just feel like they're going to figure it out. They have too much talent.
Do I got to talk about my division here?
Yeah, sure.
Back attack. And that's what I said. I wanted was San Francisco, Dallas in the playoffs, but I don't think I'll get it because, like you said, Dak buckles, and I'm not gonna say Dak couldn't even be in his prime right now. He's really not that old. He might be in his prime right now. But we'll see what they do. The inconsistencies. It seems like they get a little big-headed once in a while, and it comes back to get them or something. But Philly has to be worried about their defense because they've been getting exposed, and you better either control the clock big time or fix something. But they're not going to win a Super Bowl playing this kind of defense.
Run the ball. Run the ball.
Narratives are narratives. I'm not going to hold the Cowboys accountable for what they did early in the season. I'm going to look at what they've done against pretty decent teams the last couple of weeks and maybe thinking they may have put together. If they have a regression, sure, Gobo, I'll jump right back on that boat with you. But to me, it looks like they put it together, especially in the last 7 weeks, as Jess has pointed out. Whenever they made that switch, Dak Prescott has looked like a MVP candidate. And if they would have done that from the beginning of the year, maybe he is the front runner and the guy that we're all talking about. Because I mean, Richard Sherman was like, that guy's not a number one. That guy's not even a good receiver. And then they made that switch, and he's like, I'm going to shut up now because he's lighting it up. And he has been. So I picked Dallas because, like I said, I've been looking for Philly all year. And I'm like, no, I don't think they're going to do it. And I just didn't think they were going to do it based on what I've seen all year and what I see from Dallas. And sure, it doesn't always work out that way. I always have these thoughts of what should happen based on what's happened. And it doesn't always work out, obviously. Had, I was like 4-9 and picking games the week before last.
But yeah, there's no denying Dallas is like on a roll, and when they're playing their best, they're gonna play with anybody. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, and I know that you can say like any team could beat any team, but like when I say that Dallas could beat any team in the playoffs, they could. They are capable of doing it. They have shown the skill to beat Philly, to beat the Ravens, to beat, the 49ers. Like they have the talent. But like I said, I gotta see it. I gotta see Dak do it one time.
Yep.
Right.
Yep, agreed. I mean, yeah, there's always going to be. It's kind of like even with Peyton Manning. I remember back in the day, he went to playoffs like a bunch of times, never even won a playoff game. The Jets beat him like 40-0 once, actually.
I was gonna say, wasn't that like the biggest playoff win ever? Was Jets and Colts?
Yeah. Like, everything just went our way.
56-0.
But I'll take the Super Bowl that he got later.
Yeah, I was gonna say he did win 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah. Tennessee, Miami, Monday night. We kind of talked about it at the beginning of the show a little bit with Tyreek being out. The Dolphins, who are they?
Posers.
Guys, I was watching the Giants, obviously, and this they'd pop in on this game, and the Giants had just won, and I looked at the score, and I believe Miami was up like 13 points with 5 minutes or some shit. I can't remember. And I text my Dolphins buddy, and I just said win. I put wins plural, like we both won. Fucking threw the phone down, went and whatever, and then I'm like, oh shit, I better go watch the end of that. Turn it on, and their Titans are coming down to win the fucking game, and I'm just like, oh my god, like how did that happen so fast? It was crazy.
I did the same thing. Literally did the same thing. I was watching the Packers Giants. When it was over, I turned the TV off. I went to bed. I didn't know the Dolphins won until I saw the text messages, and then I woke up in the morning.
Right.
Ridiculous game. The Titans, that just goes to show you how wacky this season is. Is that I think that the Dolphins are complete frauds too, but the Titans the Titans have struggled in almost every aspect of the game this season, and the Dolphins have been destroying teams. It's like this type of upset just doesn't happen.
Right, and here's one of my favorite things too is I just think it's funny, like Tyreek Hill goes out and then the Dolphins can't do anything, but yet Tua's an MVP quarterback candidate. But yet Zach Wilson literally has no line or anything, and he plays pretty decent. And get him the fuck out of there. He's the worst quarterback in the league. Blah blah blah. I just think it's so. So what? So Tyreek Hill gets hurt, and the rest of the team can't play football. Like, let's be real. Like, seriously, you have all those.
We probably shouldn't let him in the playoffs. Then I guess.
Oh my god, we're still talking about this.
Well, we're gonna move on to the last game.
NCAA
picks. I know Gobo's been looking forward to this all week.
Yes. No.
So we're gonna start. I think Dames is gonna start the G-Men.
I'd love to start this.
Go ahead and start us, Dames.
Yeah.
Because
Write it up, Dame.
I recall Gobo being quite confident about this game, going, "We're just playing the bad Giants," and I said, "Well, you're going to lose, and I'm going to tell you why on the show." And then he didn't show up for the show, so
I had a previous engagement. You can tell me now. Tell me now. It's
Tell
fucking
him
easy
that.
now.
Let's go.
Yeah. Why did
love to
we
hear it.
lose, Dames?
I'd love to hear it.
Jordan Love ain't going to do anything against the Giants' defense, and lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. All right, it was a shit show of a game, guys. Let's be honest. It was hard to watch.
Oh yeah.
And especially like it's so weird because I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I watch my game and I get frustrated by a lot of things. And then I watch every other game and I just watch it as like it's a game.
Mhm.
So I tried to like half by half and put myself as a Packer fan, and as you, a Giant fan, and what would my reaction be to what was going on. And I was pissed in both halves.
Right.
Like the
Hey,
same way
what
I'm pissed when I'm watching my game. I'm like,
what half were you for the Giants though? The first half, then?
second half.
Hey,
Oh, the Giants made a lot of mistakes in the
we
second
finished
half.
the
No,
game,
right.
bro.
I know,
that
but I
was
was like, God
ugliest-
damn it. I was like,
ugliest
I
fucking
went,
game.
and here's why I did that.
It was
Because
terrible.
I picked the Giants to win. So, of course, the second half, I was like, are we gonna pull this out? So, yeah, guys. Why were you so confident, Gobo?
Why? Because it's easy to fall into that trap. Okay, when your team starts winning, and as a Packer fan, like we're definitely spoiled because we've had two fucking Hall of Fame quarterbacks back to back, no lapses in between. We didn't have to like have a fucking bridge year with like a bad quarterback that would win 6 games and then we would find our stud. We had no Jordan Love, and I mean, even if he improves, even if he becomes a functional quarterback, he will be the worst quarterback in the last 30 years that played for this team. And he could still be good, and that could still be true. So, yes, we've been fucking spoiled, okay? And when Jordan Love goes out there, beats the Chiefs, beats the Lions on Thanksgiving, and beats the Lions like handily, and we're up 3 games, we're in a playoff spot. This first year, it's like we don't expect the Super Bowl, but it's like if he comes out and performs this well, like shit, we could really have something. And then this fucking game happens where he's everything I was afraid he was gonna be. Fucking can't make reads, can't throw it accurately, can't fucking kneel or dive for a pylon. Just stands there and lets guys fucking light him up and then fumble it. Like, the Giants are bad. That's why I was confident, because the Giants are a shitty football team. And Tommy DeVito played well. You know what? He played well. But on a fucking drive where you have 2 timeouts left, a minute and a half, and all you got to do is score 1 fucking point. I got to say, if you can't make that drive happen as an NFL quarterback, you don't deserve to be in the league. So Tommy probably earned himself quite a bit of money. Is he going to like flip that franchise and the Giants are headed for the playoffs this season? Fuck no. Fuck no. Like, so you know what? The Giants played a shitty game and they won because we played a shittier game. Jordan Love, like, he grasped defeat from the jaws of victory. You cannot turn the ball over 4 fucking times in a game and win. It doesn't matter who you play.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
Wow.
Fuck that game.
Right. I mean, and here's and I feel like it's not. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's funny, but I was thinking today about what I was gonna say about this game because both of you two are on here, and it was a shitty game, blah blah. But I'm like, Jordan Love right now. I am telling you right now, from experience, it's Zach Wilson. 1 game, he's throwing for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, throwing a fucking laser in there. Oh my God, I can't believe he can do that, blah, blah, blah. And then the next game, against some shit opponent, he's fumbling the ball, throwing a ball over a player's fucking head out of bounds, like
thrown into quadruple bracket coverage.
Yeah, and your coach, LaFleur, was literally like, what the fuck are you, like, there was 5 yard out. Oh, he just chucks it over his head. I'm like, this is Zach Wilson. This is literally Zach Wilson. This is what he looks like. This is me watching games. I'm the whole time. I'm like, wow, Jordan Love.
It's when he's hot, he's good. When he's good, he's good. But then when he's bad, he is completely non-functional as a quarterback.
Like, what is up with that?
All right.
Saquon almost lost his team the game. I will say that. Because I was like,
but I want to hear about this new Brock Purdy. So
yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's
end this.
I want to hear Jass's perspective on Tommy DeVito. And you're my friend. If you're right and DeVito's the answer and you guys win the Super Bowl, I'll be very happy for you. Come on, bro. He lives with his mom. He literally lives,
and his dad and his sister. He lives with the whole family.
Well, his mom lives there too. I like the way I said it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys, 3-0. You know who's no Zach Wilson? Tommy fucking DeVito. Okay, this guy doesn't turn it over when he lets the game happen, and if he has to make a drive, he makes it. So 3-0 as a starter. It's kind of the same start Brock Purdy had, and he went on to go about 7-0 before he ripped his elbow in half. Is that going to happen? I don't know. Could it happen? I suppose. We have the Saints and Rams, 2 winnable games, and the Eagles twice, who now look vulnerable with a pretty pathetic defense. So, with all that being said, LaFleur's first December loss in his career, he was 15-0, and future does look pretty bright for quite a few Giants. Kayvon had a pretty good game. You can say all you want about Love, but you have to be somebody on the other side making that happen. Sexy Dexy made some big plays, just literally threw one of your linemen like a little bitch. And interception by a couple of guys.
It's easy to
Wan'Dale Robinson, best game of the year. So one game at a time, we'll see. And, we went from having a potential top 5 pick if we lost, like I said earlier, to being one game out of the wild card. And the Saints, if we beat them, we'll have the same record as them at 6-8. And, it'll be one game out at worst case scenario. So anything's possible, but he's just playing smart and he's gritty, man. And he can run around if he has to. So that always helps with the line we have.
It's like one of those little, it's just the NFL, man. It's like Flutie Flakes. It's like,
but he's bigger than you. He's actually bigger than you think. And he's like 6'1", 6'2", 210 or something like that.
It's like he looks like he's 4.
Where do you
come? He's got a rocket. Syracuse and Illinois. I think he started at Illinois and transferred to
Illinois. He also
undrafted. He's the Purdy. He's like Purdy or worse, less.
He also played for I think it was like St. Thomas Aquinas or like one of the like biggest, best high school football programs, and he won a New York State title.
Oh yeah, they showed
at Giant Stadium
he's a
Meadowlands, yeah.
Imagine being in college or whatever, and you come home before the draft, waiting to see who you get drafted by, and you get drafted by the Giants, and you live 8 miles from the fucking facility in Jersey your whole life. You know the area, you know it. You get drafted, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm just gonna live at home during this first season, and then this off season,
He didn't get drafted though.
Right.
He didn't get drafted. Yeah,
not even drafted. So yeah, that's what I mean.
It's like that Mark Wahlberg story. The dude who played for the Eagles, and he was just like showed up one day. He's like, "Can I try?"
Which is kind of scares me because that one run where he slid and got hit, and they threw the flag, and then after that he's like, "Well, fuck this. If they're not gonna call it," and he's just ramming into your players and stuff. I'm like, dude, you can't play like that all the time.
Dude,
but
he ran straight into fucking Campbell. I was like.
Yeah, I was like,
he destroyed Savage. He destroyed Savage though, but
no, Savage gave him props for that. That was a good hit.
It was a good game. Obviously, sloppy, ugly. The officiating sucked. There was no flow to it, but there was a lot of big plays and excitement. So it was when we both are probably not Super Bowl contenders. It was entertaining.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. So to finish off,
I can get over it now.
14 Gobo
therapy session.
Therapy session.
A 110-84 mark. G-Men Jass leading at 122-86. Dames at 117-91. Midwest Jet at 120-88. So there we go with our total.
10 games back.
10 games back. All right, here we go. Don't forget to stick around after this. Ricky's picks. all this week's games coming up. Week 15. Play along down below. We start off Thursday night, foosball in the city of sin. Chargers. This game is the Thursday night game, dude. I'm just like reading it now out like, come on, man.
Well, yeah. Do you know anybody who's going to watch this game?
Who's going to this
Raiders
game?
friend who was on last week.
This is like, hey, you got some Christmas shopping to do. Let's put a shitty game on Thursday so everybody can go out and do some, Christmas shopping and not watch football. That's what I feel like this game is.
Yeah, they know that everybody's going to be so drunk hanging out with their families that they're not going to remember who won.
I mean, I'm
put two irrelevant teams in there.
Yeah, I'm taking the home team in this one. I'm taking Vegas just because O'Connell's already played a few games. The Chargers have I don't even know who the hell's starting for quarterback for them. Did they announce who their starting quarterback is now that Herbie's out?
Some guy that Easton Stick, Easton Stick or some weird fucking name. I'm telling you, that's his name, right?
Backup is named Easton Stick.
I'm telling you,
Baseball?
Google it, Dames. Tell us.
I'll Google it.
All right, G-Man, who you taking?
I'm taking the Raiders as well. I think the Chargers have just given up. It is time to fucking get rid of this coach. Let's just go get beat by the Raiders like 30-0 or something and just be done with this guy.
Games.
Season's over.
Raiders 24-7.
Starts to get scary when almost everyone picks the Raiders.
Yeah, we're all picking the. I mean, look who they're playing. Gobes jumping on the street.
Raiders 7-6.
Was his name Easton Stick or not?
I'm looking it up. Hang on.
Am I making shit up here?
Here, I'll take a drink.
So I'm on the waiver wire on a 32-man fantasy league, so maybe he's the new backup and there's someone in front of him. I don't know, but let me check.
Anyway, why you guys
the roster, not the depth chart? So,
pop in because we have 3 Saturday games this week.
Easton Stick is correct.
Oh, if you could flash Easton Stick.
Oh, okay, yes. Easton Stick, 6'1", 224, is 28 years old, went to college at North Dakota State.
Oh.
Stats, he played for the Chargers in 2020, played one game, made one pass attempt, and it completed it for 4 yards. And then they cut him and brought him back this year.
And here he is.
He is playing in the game.
He's going to get another completion of 4 yards.
That's right. He's going to at least double his total.
All right. Moving on to the Saturday games. Like I said, the first one on the docket, Minnesota goes to Cincinnati. Dames, will let you start this bad boy off.
You guys I gotta stick with my man, Jake Browning. A hot hand. Speaking of hot hand, he injured his thumb, it looked like a little bit in that game. But he came back and played well. So I think he's going to do it again at home against the Vikings. Let's say 21-15.
Right. And I'm going to say Minnesota, I don't even think they scored that many points. I don't even think they've announced their starting quarterback. Jefferson, I think maybe is playing, maybe isn't. I'm with you. I'm taking the hot hand in Browning. Cincinnati looks, I feel like their schedule is very favorable, even though they have Burrow out. So I'm taking the Bengals at home. I feel like they win this one pretty handily. I'm going to say 23-6. Gobo.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. The fucking Vikings putting up 3 points against a questionable Raiders team. And then they're gonna go Cincinnati looked on fire last week. I think Browning is good enough to use all those offensive weapons. That running back that just kind of busted out. Like, he's really talented. Yeah, I think Vikings are declining and Bengals on the rise. So we will do 28-13 Cincy.
G-Man.
for no other reason than this is NFL and stupid shit happens. Take the Vikings on the road. Take Browning off his little horse. And whoever starts for the Vikings is going to throw it. He's going to throw it well.
Like,
They're
you don't
definitely
even know
gonna
who
throw
he's going to throw it to.
You're right. They're definitely going to throw
Hawkinson.
it.
He's gonna throw it.
20-19.
There you go.
Pittsburgh goes to Indy. Another game where I'm gonna just say, first off, like this is one of those games again. Like, does anyone have the answers to who this team is?
This is a hard pick.
This is a hard one. Who says this is an easy pick?
This is an easy pick.
All right, well, why don't you let us know why, Dame?
I'm going to tell you the exact score of this game.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's going to be Indianapolis 29, Pittsburgh 13.
So you're taking Indy at home against Pittsburgh. G-Men.
I'm going to have to disagree and go with Pittsburgh. Both these teams are inconsistent, and it's going to go with the Steelers. No real reasons.
Gobo.
22, 21.
22-21. I'm gonna take the Colts. This is a very, very hard game to predict because both of these teams have shown up very poorly and very well. And it's kind of I'm kind of just playing like a pattern here. Is the Steelers seem to go well one week, poor one week, well one week, poor one week. They played well last week, so I think they're going to decline, and I think Indy's going to recover from that loss. So I will say 2017 Colts.
I'm also going to go Indy.
Pittsburgh lost to New England last week, I thought.
Oh, they did? Well,
They
shit.
did.
Uh-oh.
Just so you know.
Do you want to change it to Pitt? You say an Indy.
Ooh.
I'm taking Indy.
I'm going to stick with Indy. I should take Pittsburgh, but
I don't trust.
No, you shouldn't. Mitch Trubisky. That's all you need to know.
Yep.
Stop.
Yep.
There's no other discussion to be had.
Mitch
Jackson's out of
Trubisky
his
has
fucking
won
mind.
games before, though.
He has his moments.
Man.
This defense will force some Minshew turnovers, so it'll be a fun game.
I'm still taking the Colts. DeForest Buckner, dude. Like
Always back.
TJ Watt's still alive.
He's my
and kicking.
favorite Colt. I gotta be honest. He's a fucking monster.
Games, we go to Detroit with your hat. Denver. Who you taking?
Game, you guys. Detroit should win this game at home, and they should win it handily, but they will not because the freight train that is the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson.
Nobody in Denver talks like that.
They're going to be riding in there on their big on their fucking donkeys. Fucking shit coming out of their nose and shit. And they're going to drop their fucking huge D's on the little D in Detroit.
Gobo.
Holding the D. Fuck. Broncos.
All that
Broncos 30-27. The fucking Dames is right. Fucking the Lions should win. They're not going to because Denver's got the hot hand and Lions have a shitty coach. They're better in almost every position, but they're gonna lose.
G-Men.
I am going to gain a game on both of these human beings. Just wonderful humans. We're forgetting about who cares about the coach when you have the running game that the Lions have. And it'll be 37-27 Detroit. Denver has to fall, and I'm not gonna go too much into the past for my picks this week. This game.
For this game.
Well, that's good because if you did that, you could not rely on Detroit to win the game.
Exactly.
You pretty much have to ignore what's happened recently to make that
Exactly.
pick.
They're ready to rebound.
Right. And I'm actually going to take say the same thing kind of Jazz said. I kind of went back and forth on this game. I am going to take Detroit at home because I do think they're the better team, and I think this time they are. They come off a loss. They're coming out. Denver is playing pretty well, but again, maybe the Bears are better than we thought they were, and then that's why they beat the Lions, not because the Lions took it. It's a division game. A lot of things go into play. I'm taking Detroit. They are at home, so I like them at home. I'm going to say 24-21. Hotlanta going to Carolina, another great barn burner game that no one's going to give a shit about. Gee, man, let's start this one.
You're muted.
You're mute. Oh.
Well, guys, I have a guy by the name of John Robinson in my one fantasy league that I'm still in the playoffs in. So, and I've been riding Atlanta all year. Picked Carolina's 1 win and content never picking for them again. Atlanta on the road, 24-0. Carolina is
give him the goose.
horrible.
The goose.
Oh,
The goose.
The goose. He gave him the goose.
Give him the goose.
Gobo, who you taking?
I'm taking the Falcons. The fucking Panthers are so bad, dude. They're gonna lose it. They're gonna lose the rest of the games this season. Yeah, I don't think it matters. Yeah, Bijan's gonna eat. Fucking Ritter's gonna throw like 3 tutties. They're gonna get to at least 2 turnovers. 37-6. Falcons.
Names.
Well, I'm going to pick Carolina in this game, gentlemen.
Do it.
Wow.
I'm going to pick them 17-13.
Wow.
Wow.
Trying to lose now, or you're trying to just back up and lose? They have one.
No, I
Thank
just have a
you.
feeling about this game. I like the Falcons team. I do.
No, you don't.
I don't think they're good this year, but I think
they're not good, but they're certainly
they're
better
gonna
than
be good.
others.
They're going to be good.
You can't like them if you're picking Carolina.
I was
You don't
I'm
like
picking the worst team in the league to beat
Most
them.
disrespect
I've
ever heard.
But they're good. But they're pretty good. They're good.
I just think, I don't know, dude. Some things, the ball's shaped weird.
Could happen, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's football. Anybody can beat anybody. So watch you be right.
Yeah, what do we know? I mean, we're just on this show picking games, just like you guys are at home picking games. Thanks, playing along.
Not bad.
Chicago, Cleveland. The Bears, are they going to stay on this hot streak? Or
Not bad.
Cleveland and their defense going to hold them down? Dames.
Wow. This game is awesome, you guys. I'm going to watch every fucking second of this game. And I'm going to love it.
No.
God damn, dude. I really want to pick the Bears.
The Bears.
So I'm going to pick the Bears 24-19.
Just having a heart attack.
It's okay. G-Men.
That's a Baker's dozen, Bob.
Yeah, I'm also rolling with the Bears. I don't have faith in whoever's the quarterback. Is it Flacco or someone else on this team? I can't even remember, but
Flacco.
I didn't know if the other guy was back or if Flacco was the starter the rest of the year or what, but
I think he's the man.
28-20. The Bears, and they still hang in the old wild card race. Hopefully the Browns can pull it out for our sake. Gobo.
Well, here's the deal for me.
James.
Since Dick Touch guy is gone, I can take Cleveland now. So I'm taking them again. I just think I am in the thought process of I don't think the Bears are good. So I think Cleveland's defense, Myles Garrett is going to wreak havoc, say goodnight, Fields. And it's at Cleveland. So I feel like, what? Want to put a wager on this game?
Yeah.
How much?
Until you pay me the last game, we can just double or nothing.
Oh, yeah, I still owe you. How much?
$10.
It's
Double or nothing.
here's what we'll do.
Yeah, who are you
Alright.
picking? The Bears? Oh, yeah, I want the Bears.
I got-
I go.
Oh, no.
Gobo just said, fuck you guys.
He's like, fuck you guys. This is stupid. I hate it."
My fucking internet went out for a second. I was about ready to call you on my phone.
I'm
Talking
not,
about the Bears too much.
Who you
I'm not,
Who am I taking? Cleveland. Cleveland rocks. Drew Carey show. Yeah, the fucking Bears are terrible. They're terrible. Like they're not good at all. Like the fucking Justin Fields is totally overrated. Moore is past his prime. They won games where the other team played like complete dog shit. Like Cleveland is hot right now. They're moving towards the playoffs. They're gonna wreck the Bears. 41-14.
Everything you just said about the Bears, I can say about the Packers.
Yeah. Okay. What, you want me to defend the Packers after turning the ball over 4 times?
I mean, look, this goes back to like we're playing the Giants and they're terrible. Like you guys are like the fucking Cowboys or something. Like you're still the Packers. Like what are you talking about?
I should be more equipped to recognize bad teams.
You're right.
Because I see the fucking patterns are the same.
Yeah.
My picking the Bears is not because I'm saying they're good. I'm saying they're fun to watch. And when they perform well and they beat teams that they shouldn't beat, this is going to be another one of those weeks. That's all I think. They should not beat this team.
Yeah, I don't think they're fun to watch.
But they even have $50 on it. So double or nothing. Tampa Bay, Green Bay. Gobo, we're going to let you start now. Here, I already know who you're taking.
I'm taking Tampa. Yeah, no, I said it.
Which Bay are you for?
Yeah, the Battle of the Bays, going back to the 1997, Warren Sapp.
Yeah.
Brett Favre. It's amazing. But anyways, Martin Gramatica winning the game and then breaking his leg, celebrating. I
forgot about that shit.
Yeah, wasn't that great? Anyways.
And the other Gramatica got hurt fucking kicking like the next year.
It was like the same day. Yeah, it was
same day or something. Yeah.
Those men, the goofiest NFL player of all time, Martin Gramatica. Anyways, I'm taking Tampa. I think even if I wasn't cursed here, I'd have some concerns. Baker came off a big game. Mike Evans is kind of hard to defend, especially when our secondary has been struggling the last few weeks. We're weak against the run. Jordan Love is going to have to play his ass off if we're going to win this game. And sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Last week he did not. Or fucking last night he did not. So, yeah, I'm taking Tampa. 24-20.
I'm going to, I've got a, thing going for Tampa Bay. So I picked them last week and they won. I'm going to ride it. I'm with you. I think the Packers are just too inconsistent, but this will be the game where Love throws for like 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yeah, of course, that's how it works.
Very could happen.
Could happen. I just think Tampa Bay's defense is I would say better than the Giants. So if the Giants made a bunch of mess for Love, I think they're going to do the same. So I'm taking Tampa Bay on the road, going into Lambeau. I'll still say it'll be pretty close. 23-17, Tampa Bay. G-Man. Hear it.
You called the Giants defense. You said Tampa's defense was better than the Giants, and so he's upset.
What are they ranked? Let's look them up.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Giants have the Giants have the youngest starting defense in all of football. Anyway, I like green, and I'm picking Green Bay. 28-23 over the Bucks. They rebound. The Bucks, I just don't think they're good. Buckers are just a little better at home.
Score
28-23.
James.
I've been to Tampa. I've eaten on the bay. I've been to Green where there is no bay at all to speak of.
Hey.
I like cheese curds and brats, but I also like shrimp. So if it's a battle of the foods, I'm torn. So I look at this as a coin toss.
Oh,
and feeling whoever wins, it's going to be in overtime.
Okay.
Very possible.
You can't pass the cheese curds, man. It's got to be Green Bay, dude. Can I
I
change
was
my
gonna
mind?
say, like, there's
Cheese
places
curds?
in
Yeah.
Florida where they're known
Right.
for good seafood. I don't think Tampa is one of them. It's like this is shrimp.
got
It's
the-
been dropped on the
They
floor.
got the Gulf shrimp.
Yeah.
It's
The Gulf shrimp.
The Gulf
Sick.
shrimp. Okay.
Yeah.
6 shrimp.
Eating manatee burgers. All
Oh.
right, here's your pog. It says "yikes" and has a distorted.
Oh, you got to save that for Seattle for Jamal Adams.
That's the home team. Home team is the Packers.
So the Packers are yikes. Bucks are the backside. Let's go. Go Pack, go!
Oh, go.
All right, so
It's
we got.
the yikes.
I'll be eating cheese curds and brats on Sunday.
Cheese curds are fucking delicious, though.
Dude, who doesn't?
Nobody
love
can
fried
deny
cheese?
that.
Like,
Come on,
Body
even a
cap.
Bears fan.
I
like Italian sausage.
Of course you do. Jets, Miami. Heyo. Here's the deal, guys. I'm gonna start. I'm going with the Gobo still. I obviously am going for the Jets. Let's not be ridiculous, but I'm gonna pick the favorite to win. That way, I am happy in both regards. Because if I come out here, you all know I'm happy when the Jets win, and then if they lose, at least I get the glee or the joy of gaining a game or staying even with Jasper. So there we go. Dolphins, not going to win, but I'm picking them. Go Jets. Tua's sus, so good luck. Sauce is going to... You know what? Actually, I want to make a prediction about the Jets. I haven't really made one all year. Sauce has been playing very well. Last week, he pretty much dominated that whole game. Pick 6. It's time. He needs one. He needs to Revis one. Pick 6. Sauce. Jets win, or actually, I mean, Dolphins win. I'm picking the Dolphins. I'm not going to score for this game.
Wow, I can feel the conflict within.
Tis. Dave,
Do it.
you're up.
All right, Europe, Asia, Africa, whatever. Goddamn, the Miami's gonna win this game, dude, and they're gonna win, the same way they won last time. Big.
They're not going to have a pick 6 taken back on a Hail Mary with Boyle in.
34. It's going to be an embarrassment to the Jets defense is what I think. It's going to be a 34, which is an embarrassment to your defense.
I can't wait for
34-12.
G-Man.
6 safeties.
I mean, yeah. What if this was Zach Wilson's game last game and now he's just a fucking stud the rest of the year? What if?
Only because it's the weirdest seasons of all time, and I get sick of seeing you pick against the Jets and then they win. So I can see it happening again. And Miami's vulnerable. It's the NFL. And Zach did look, okay. So
Okay. I'm like, don't say good.
34, 31. And it's just going to be one of those crazy division games. But, weird shit's going to happen. So that's 34-31.
I do. I
It's
give
the 80s.
last week on Twitter, VT was talking shit about the game against Houston, and he's like, I made a comment on his post that said, all you have to do is score a touchdown because you don't need any more than that because the Jets will not score a touchdown.
They hadn't.
Then all of a sudden, my comment was funny.
How you like that?
It's meant to be funny because it's been true over the course of the season.
Yeah. But it ended up being
Did not work out that way. We'll just say
Gobo.
I'm picking the Jets. You know what? Fuck Miami. Like they're totally suspect. Jets have a good defense. I don't think they're gonna have to play a good game. I feel like Miami's gonna find a way to blow it. What was the final score of the Tennessee game? It was like 28-27. I'm gonna give the same score. 28-27 Jets.
Right. And it is like, for me, it's like one of those things where it's just
right.
What a
And
week.
like the only point I have is like Tyreek, if he plays, which I don't think he's gonna play. I think they're gonna hold him back because they have the division lead right now. But like if he plays, he's gonna be limited. And like, yeah, Sauce will find a way to cover him.
Oh
Like
hell yeah, dude! I mean,
and
this is
you
like
take
deja vu.
Tyreek out of the equation, like, are the Dolphins even better than the Jets? I don't really think so.
Oh
They have
my
a better
god,
quarterback, but Tua is not like an MVP quarterback.
Tua's getting shown to the world how he needs Tyreek. All right, we'll move on from one New York team to another, who both play in New Jersey. Giants, but they're going down to Nolans. There's some good food down there. Food
More of
down
that Gulf shrimp.
there. Yeah, there you go. G-Man, let's
I
hear
was
your
like, yeah, you
thoughts
could.
on why the Giants and DeVito are going to keep rolling.
That's right, my brother. 4-0 DeVito after this win down south. And the G-men are rolling, and a lot of it has to do with getting pressure on the quarterback. There were times when we didn't blitz because they couldn't contain our four, which even for Wink Martindale, he will do that most of the time, and we cut back a little bit last night. But gotta have it. Gonna keep it rolling. The young guys are stepping up and kind of growing as the season goes, and kind of right where thought we would be, or at least with a snowball's chance in hell in fucking December. So win this one and what you been wishing for all year? Your little Christmas miracle. It'll be a New York Giants Christmas miracle. So one at a time, but we got to get this one and we do. 19-16, another close, crazy game. DeVito takes it down. Game-winning touchdown to win 19-16. No.
Love it. I do want to make, when you just said that, that's a very good point, because if the Jets do win against the Dolphins, I believe Aaron Rodgers can come back against the Commanders the following week and roll out the wins, which could get us at 9 wins, possibly. Anyway, I'm also taking the Giants. I like that kid. It's again a winnable game, which a quarterback who manages the game hands the ball off. Barkley's healthy, hits his open receivers. Your defense has been playing good, and Derek Carr's a piece of shit. So I'm gonna say Giants on the road. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a low scoring affair, 13-12.
After hey, hold on. After the first two incompletions against the Packers, Vito did only have one incompletion the rest of the game, and you saw Love continually have problems throwing in some of that wind or whatever he was doing. So, this kid throws a nice tight spiral. He's got it, man.
Nice and tight.
Let's go, DeVito.
Gobo.
Man, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna take the Saints just to try to gain a game on you guys because I think Dames is gonna pick the Giants too. So I'm gonna take the Saints. I think this is gonna be a really even game. These are both teams that when they are playing well, they look all right. I think that just depending on if the Saints have a bad game, I think the Giants are probably going to win. But if the Saints play the game they should play, get Kamara going in the running game. Carr doesn't have to really do much. Just 5-yard dump offs, 15 yards on third down. Like those are throws that he can make. So I'm taking the Saints at home. It'll be a good one. 21-17.
James Marvs.
So, DeVito's won 3 in a row.
3 in a row.
His first 3. Now, I'm starting to get a little scared here because I did say week 1, the winner or the loser of the Dallas Giants game would not make the playoffs. So I'm kind of not rooting against you necessarily, but for my own prediction's sake, I have to.
Hey, let me at least get it to the Eagles the week after. Just let me get this one and feel what that feels like. Division playoff atmosphere.
We have, yes, the Giants are rolling, but I believe it's more due to the teams that you're playing than it is some kind of resurgence from last year. But you guys were a great team last year. Great team last year. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
the Giants were pretty good last year.
I don't think you're a bad team this year like Gobo does. But I also don't think the Packers are a bad team. I thought that was a really even matchup yesterday. But gosh, this one's tough because I feel like the Saints have players that they don't know what to do with. And if they use those players properly, like why don't you have Carr, Kamara, and Hill in the backfield at once? What would you focus on? Like, come on. Like, why does that never happen? It's always like one guy comes out, two guys come out, and then it's just Taysom Hill taking direct snaps. Like, what the fuck are you? And he's still good. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you have these dynamic, like I said, Christian McCaffrey light player, and you're not doing anything with him most of the time to showcase that. I know Peyton would do it. Peyton would be using those guys to the best of their abilities. I mean, look what he got out of the players that he had there when he had them there. It's in New Orleans. How long am I willing to put up with a Giants win streak? That's what I'm really looking at. Like a team that's marginally on the cusp of good and bad. How many games can I really give them in a row? This one's got to be a coin toss for me too. Because I can't.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's go. The other side of this.
We got yikes. Yikes is New Orleans.
Oh, I put the Yikes flag away.
You know.
All right.
I got another one. It's okay. I got it too. We got Liu Kang from
finish him.
Mortal Kombat. So Liu Kang will be the Saints, and the Mortal Kombat logo will be the Giants.
Let's go, Mortal Kombat. Let's
Down,
go.
forward, B. Slide.
Giants.
Yes.
Oh, God damn it. No, just kidding.
All right.
Who cares what the score is? I don't know.
We're going to move to Tennessee, where the VT's team that got their ass kicked by the Jets, suck on that one, goes to Tennessee against Levis and the Titans, who just came off a big win against Miami. What a crazy game this is. And I actually want to start this one off with a coin toss. I don't know if I've done a coin toss. Give me a good one, Gobo. Give me a good one.
Another coin toss. Holy shit.
Never done one.
We're very professional on this show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing but
nervous.
Analysis.
We have
nervous?
it's a dwarf from Snow White. I think it's Dopey. Let me see if I can get him in the camera.
Oh my, Dopey.
He's kind of angry.
I love Dopey.
Like, I'm not like a Snow White expert. So okay, who's the home
He didn't
team?
look very good.
Tennessee's home.
They're
All right.
definitely
Tennessee is home.
Dopey is the Titans. And Houston. Hook 'em horns.
All right, hook 'em horns. Yeah, I think Stroud's just going to bounce back, after coming off that. Whatever, you guys all know. I think Houston, I'm taking them. They're going to win a close one, 21-20. Because they have to win a close one because I wasn't sure who was going to win. Dames Marvs, you're up.
There's frogs over the floor.
I'm going to pick Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I want to pick Tennessee by 3. I don't have a score, just by 3.
G-Man.
Be funny. You do the coin toss and you're like, yes, Houston 50-0.
Well, that's how you trick somebody. You're like, all right, I'm going to flip the coin. And when you cover it, you say, all right, who did you wish that it landed on? That's who you pick. Because you do that every time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You do. You really do.
I got Houston 2017. Yeah, I do think. Hopefully Stroud is back from. Was he? I mean, it was officially a concussion, right?
He's in.
So
he's in
It
protocol.
was just protocol, but he got out of the concussion protocol, didn't he?
I don't think so.
Oh, really?
Not yet.
So is he not playing in this game?
It's possible.
that's what I'm.
Because if he
That's
doesn't
what
play
I'm
this
saying.
game, that makes it that's a big difference.
Why? You don't believe in old Mills?
No.
Dave Mills?
No.
I don't at all, no.
General Mills.
Anyway, so Josh, you still taking Houston? Gobo, who you taking?
Yeah, I'm still taking Houston. I mean, Houston.
I eat General Mills for breakfast.
I'm gonna take the Titans. I picked like the 3 times I picked the Titans this year, they lost all 3 of those games. So
Oh, thank you for that. Appreciate
Thank you.
you.
I know,
You
yeah, my sacrifice. So VT, if you're watching, if you win, this is why. So I expect like a gift card or something. But
If that-
yes, I'm taking the Titans at home. Without Stroud, I don't think Houston really has an offensive game plan. Levis is playing all right. Derrick Henry got a touchdown against the Dolphins, so maybe he wants to play football again. Um, Titans 28, Texans 20.
All right. G-Men Jazz, we're going to New England where the Chiefs go up to the cold. Do the Patriots win at home?
Guys, I think the Chiefs have enough to rebound, regardless if Mahomes has an average game or better. So it will be somewhat close, 27-20, but the Chiefs will find a way to win this one and kind of stay afloat heading into the old playoff push.
James.
27-20.
Thank you, G-Man.
I was asked prior to the New England Pittsburgh game, the over under was 30 points for the game total. And I said over. And they were over. By halftime they were over. So that was kind of shocking because the joke was there's no way they're going to score anywhere near that amount of points between the two of them. Because we were looking at terrible quarterback play on both sides of the ball. New England coming off a shutout. But they actually put it together last week. The Chiefs are looking not Chief-like, but I do think that they are going to pull this one out. I would love it if they lost. Jails, I know you probably don't share that sentiment. But if the Chiefs lose this game, they're going to be on the road in the playoffs. If they lose this game, for sure, they'll be on the road.
Do they
They'll make the playoffs, yes.
They still make the playoffs. I think they have 9 wins, don't they? That's usually enough for a wild card.
They will make the playoffs, but that would be indicative of some huge. And I know they're going up against a great coach and a team that should be really disciplined and know all their assignments and everything. It's just a matter of performing in those aspects, which they just haven't done all year. But if the Chiefs want to put together a statement and say, we're still that team, this is the game to do it. They have an opportunity here to just put the fucking pedal to the metal on these guys and dump them in their own stadium. If they do that, a lot of people will stop worrying. If this game's close, it'll be just like the rest of the season. If they lose, it's in big trouble.
Yeah.
I got the Chiefs.
Go.
So this is kind of a crazy concept to me because I don't necessarily disagree with Dames. I think that so you're saying that if the Chiefs lose this game, they don't win the AFC West. So that means Denver will win the division after starting 0-5. What a fucking crazy season this would be if that happened. And it could happen.
It could.
I don't think it's going to, though. I don't see any way that the Patriots win this game.
There's that. Can I clarify my remarks?
It could happen.
What I mean is they will get a home game, but they won't be at home for the duration, which has never been the case.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense because I'm like, the Broncos winning that division, it would be bananas.
That would be. I mean, I'm here for it.
It could happen. It's totally. They're only 2 games back from the Chiefs now.
Did they play each other yet again or not?
They have to
They
play
do.
again.
They play each other again in Kansas City.
God.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Crazy. So,
all right. Well, I'm also. Yeah. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs. 39-24. 13. Patriots suck.
I'm also taking the Chiefs. Damn, it's like I hate the Patriots so much. I feel like this could be a better game than people think. Defense, man, and the Chiefs haven't been playing.
It could be.
So, moving on to the next game, San Fran, Arizona. Again, this is one of those games where I mean, I'll start. I feel like San Fran is just rolling on all cylinders. They're playing Arizona. This is like, don't be dumb and fucking overlook this game. But like, I feel like, come on, man. So I'm taking San Fran big. It's at Arizona, nice weather. Unless something crazy happens, like an injury or something. I don't see San Francisco. I think it's like 30, 38, 10, San Fran. Dames.
I think that the 49ers starters are out of this game by the fourth quarter, maybe the third quarter, middle of the third quarter. I don't see it particularly being competitive. I'm going to say 42-13.
G-Man.
I will raise you a 56-0 shutout. 49ers just gonna roll in there, and yeah, I don't know if they like have that rule where if you get led by 50, the clock is continuous like high school.
They don't. No.
But they
would have
would need
activated
to
it for the Broncos.
need to implement that. They would need to implement that. Oh yeah.
Mercy rule.
Okay. You said the huge score. Gobo, last but not least, buddy.
I know if I'm gonna gain a game, I should take the Cardinals, but no fucking. No fucking dude.
Yeah.
I think San Francisco takes their foot off the gas a little bit in this game, but I don't think it's gonna matter. I think Christian McCaffrey's gonna have 2 touchdowns by halftime, and 49ers are gonna win 28-17, in a bare minimal effort and still get the win.
All right, moving on. Again, thanks for playing along at home. If you aren't or have not, yeah, just play along. All you do is go to NFL.com, pick the games right in order. Washington, dumbest name in sports, goes all the way to LA to play the Rams. Dane, is this your one of your teams in your division? We'll let you
Yeah.
start.
I think the Rams are good. I mean, they're better than people think, at least. I can say that. And then Washington is probably better than a lot of people think too, but they're not good. In LA, will there be Washington fans there? I don't know. Will there be any fans there? I don't know. $1 billion stadium should be fucking empty on Sundays is crazy. But
In
I'll
LA.
say LA 28, Washington 14.
Yeah, I feel like I don't need to overthink this one at all. Rams are gonna win at home. They're coming off a loss. The Commanders are not playing well. And I think the Rams are they close to making the playoffs or in that wild card talk?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this team sneaks in somehow. That playoff could get because that defense, good passing game, Stafford.
They did the loss, but it was very close last minute loss to one of the better teams in the AFC. And it was like a last second victory. So
all right. G-Man.
Overtime, right?
The Broncos and
No,
Washington team? Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah. That was a really good game.
Yeah,
They
Washington
wanted the punt return to the house.
Yeah.
Rams 31, Washington 13. And I think some bad things are going to be happening in Washington. It sounds like the enemy might already be wanting to go somewhere else, possibly even getting a head coach or just another chance with a different quarterback. And who knows what direction this will go. So some of these games are pretty big for a lot of people in Washington right now, and I don't think they answer the call. They're always down there.
Score?
31-13.
My bad.
He
Go.
did.
He did.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, the Packers are now tied with the Rams. We do have the advantage of we beat them in the regular season, so but it still benefits us for the Rams to lose this game. So I'm definitely rooting for the football team, but yeah, I kind of have to go with you guys. Rams, they're at home. They played a really good game last week. Didn't get the W, but like the Ravens are, one of the best teams in the league. Yeah, I don't see Washington being able to keep up. I'm gonna say 28-14 Rams.
Gobes, I got a question for you.
Yo,
You're in a how many way tie?
5.
If this went to committee, do you think that the Packers are in or the Rams are in?
I don't. You know what?
I think the
That's
The
an interesting
Packers would be
question. That's an interesting
Packers.
question because we won the head-to-head.
You have the history of the Packers, and they have no home crowd. It's for sure the Packers.
Atlanta.
But statistically, we would win that too because we won.
Statistically, you have the head-to-head for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they win
So
statistically.
I think unequivocally the Packers would go. Would they go over the other 4 teams they're tied with? There's some questions there.
Some debate. And
All right,
it's
maybe
not
we get talk about that going in, we get closer to the playoffs. We could.
I was gonna say, I mean, there's still 5 more games left in the season?
Good thing we don't have to put up with that shit in the NFL.
No, we do not.
Dallas going to Buffalo, 2 teams. This is kind of the matchup that we've been looking for, but this did not get flexed. This is just the afternoon game on CBS, I'm assuming.
And you'll know why it didn't get flexed in a minute, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Monday night game, so glorious. Dallas, Buffalo. I'll start this one off. I don't want the Bills to win. I think Dallas is just playing too well right now. If they lose to Buffalo, obviously I'm not going to be surprised. I don't think anyone at home. I feel like this is like a coin flip of a game, as in half people are going to be picking Buffalo, half the people are going to be picking Dallas. I'm one of those people that are picking Dallas. I just, like I said, I'll take the hot hand, and I feel like when a good thing's going, you just keep taking it till it breaks. So I'm going to take Dallas on the road. I think, Dallas has a tough schedule coming up compared to Philly. I don't know if you guys have kind of seen that side by side. I mean, the Philly plays the Giants twice, which is why they say that they're
Oh my God. Quit attacking the Giants. Bro,
record-wise.
are you picking Buffalo? Are you picking Dallas because you hate Buffalo?
Yeah.
Get outside of your emotions, bro.
And I think Dallas is better, dude. What are you
All
talking
right, well, that's all that needs to be said. You don't even need to say that you hate Buffalo.
Well, watch me.
Wearing.
I can say whatever I want. You talk about how much you hate the Rams and the 49ers all the fucking time.
But I picked the fucking Rams.
Okay, but they're playing the Washington.
You did ask him if that's why he picked it, though. He did not offer up that information willingly.
I don't even know what we're even arguing right
Either way.
Anyway, so I was gonna say, can we make some picks here? Yeah, Dallas or Buffalo?
Yeah, Dallas.
Who are we going to?
Who you take?
Right. God, this is a fucking good game, you guys. This is a fun game to watch. It's in the 325 slot, so you can go ahead and ignore San Francisco, Arizona. You can ignore Washington and LA, and just focus on this game. This is the game to watch. Clearly, God, Dallas. They're both the hot hands, man.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo just went into Kansas City and beat Kansas City on a bullshit call. No, it was a good call. A good game, actually, overall. Dallas has been thumping people, man. We played them really tough. And despite the fact that I thought we were going to win that game throughout like the whole entire second half, we didn't win it because they are too overpowering. The thing that worries me about this game is that it's in Buffalo and not in Dallas, where Dallas plays extremely better than they do on the road. I don't know what the weather is going to be like in Buffalo. Dallas is a hot weather team, plays pretty much inside of a dome. So, God dang. I want Buffalo to win this game because I fucking hate Dallas. But I'm not going to pick them because of that. I'm going to pick Dallas because I think they're going to win. I think they're going to figure it out. And I hope I'm wrong. Dallas, I think it might be an overtime game too. So we'll go Dallas. Not really confident in that choice, but there you have it.
So you might as well just go with the hot hand. Dallas is the hot team. Dude, Buffalo's only won one game and they beat the Chiefs, who we've all been talking about sucked. So
They won the Super Bowl last year, bro.
They did do that.
The Chiefs won the Super Bowl last
okay, but that was last year. Remember, we don't talk about
What have you done for me lately?
year. I talk about whatever I want to talk
They're
about.
still in first place in their division.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they just went to straight garbage. They've lost.
Dallas is first place in their division right now. They're just took over Philly.
We're not saying that Dallas is bad.
That's why I picked Dallas.
Yeah.
Right.
Not because I have some grudge against Buffalo.
G-Men, you're up.
Guys, like usually an out of conference game doesn't have as much on the line for both teams. Dallas, like you're talking about, undefeated, I believe, at home, 15 straight or whatever, going for the number 1 seed in the NFC. And you got Buffalo, who is teetering on falling out of a playoff berth if they're not careful. So huge game, huge implications. And I think Josh Allen and Buffalo just score enough, 34-28, and home field advantage is enough. Buffalo gets this win.
Do you have any idea what it's going to be like?
Guy on a Buffalo. Yeah, I'm taking the Bills as well. And I'm taking them in a close game, and it's because it's kind of like what Dames was saying is that when Dallas wins, they blow people out. Like they don't really play well in close games. I think this is going to be a close game, especially because there's very likely going to be some weather. It's outdoors. It's on the East Coast. It's out of Dallas's comfort zone. Could they win? Yes, but I think Buffalo. I think Josh Allen's got a little bit more composure than Dak. I'm taking Buffalo at home, 28-25.
Does anything change for you guys if Dallas and Dak play well and pull this off? Do some of the things that you say start being like, okay, maybe
Well, I mean, we all thought that they were a top 3 team in the NFC, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got
top 3 team in the AFC, debatably.
Yeah, I got to see it in the postseason, man. Honestly, like that's really it. I know previous seasons it's a different team this year, but like I got to see Dak win a playoff game before I say that they're going to be anything in the postseason.
You say that, but even a different team called Dallas has always choked in the playoffs since they, won 3. Every Dallas team. Being different.
You're right, but I don't think that helps your argument, though.
I mean, Dak did win a playoff game last year, didn't he, or 2 years? He's won one.
Right. Sure. Like, I mean, yeah, he's won meaningless playoff games, but just when the chips are down, he folds.
And I don't think anyone's arguing that Dallas is a Super Bowl contender, but I would always bet against them as you get further in the stages. Like,
yeah.
Don't believe it. I just don't believe in it.
You're right. But you guys, it's still regular season. It's still regular season.
I was going to say, Dallas is having a great regular season.
They do, usually.
Yeah. Huge test for them within that.
Right. Because then what's happening to Buffalo? Are they even making the playoffs if they lose this game?
Well, let's look at Buffalo's record. They're not that team. They're not the team that their record is. When they play and they're capable of playing, they could beat the pants off of Dallas. Mm-hmm. But what are we going to get on Sunday is the question. I mean, I'm not looking at their records. I'm looking at they're both really fucking good teams, and it's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yep.
I hope it's a good game.
All right, moving on. Sunday Night Football. Baltimore, BDB, and Jacksonville looking to bounce back. Dames, we'll start with you.
I like that this game's at Jacksonville. I think it gives Jacksonville a chance. I think if this game's in Baltimore, it's already over. And I know that's weird to say, but there's just something about sleeping in your own bed, waking up, playing a night game. And another team has got to travel to do that and then worry about getting home late, all that shit. But, God, this is going to be a fun game to watch, too. I can't wait to feast. I'm glad there's no other games being played at this time, so I can just focus on this one. God, who I got winning this one? I'm going to take Jacksonville because they have to win this game. I don't think Baltimore has to win this game. They can afford to lose this game and still survive. But really, what Jacksonville is trying to accomplish with this season, they've got to win this game, especially after losing the last couple of games that they've lost. So I'm going to, in a close one, like 28-27, I got Jacksonville. And I, again, not totally confident in that. Just the way I'm thinking right now. I might change my mind by Sunday, but
G-Man.
My MVP pick was Lamar, and they're gonna go in there and take care of business. 38-24. It is gonna be a fun game to watch. I hope it's close. I hope it's close into the fourth quarter. Um, Baltimore, if they keep it rolling, is they're just gonna keep increasing their spot as the number one contender. Everyone else in the AFC seems to be falling. So Baltimore.
Yep, and I think I'm gonna go with G-Man Jazz. I think Baltimore just keeps rolling. I thought maybe when their tight end got hurt, that maybe that would kind of hurt him, but like we were talking, likely stepped right in. And the thing is he did it last year too, so he kind of actually had a little familiarity. So he came in, and Lamar is playing at a high level. And I feel like Lawrence, if he was 100% healthy, I would say maybe Jacksonville would pull this off. But I just feel like just watching him last week and seeing that ankle, it's his right one where he throws off of. I just don't think he's ready. I think he should have maybe taken a week off. So I'm taking Baltimore on the road, 31-17. Gobo.
I'm taking the Jags. Mostly, yeah, because I do got to try to gain a game on you guys. I think that in a rematch in the playoffs, it's Baltimore all day. But I think that Baltimore's going to have a lot less emphasis on this game, and it's a must win. And Jacksonville, even with Lawrence a little bit depleted, they still got a lot of talent. They got a lot of speed. They got a pretty functional defense. I think that Jacksonville should win this game. But yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to be a beat 'em up type game. So I'm going to go 24-21 Jags.
All right. Make sure you stick around after this. Ricky's picks coming up after this last game, week 15. Again, thanks for joining us, NFL. Philly, Seattle Dames. Philly coming up to your home. Health man, what's going to happen?
Philly coming up to Seattle in prime time in the past has been a bloodbath for Philly. And I'm talking about all the way from Sean Alexander scoring 5 touchdowns in the first half to 42-0 drubbing on Monday Night Football one year. But these are different teams. Pete Carroll's in a lot of hot water right now. He's just come off a 4-game win streak, losing streak, which has never happened before. This would be 5, which is unprecedented. So as much as and again, I've been questioning Philly all year, questioning them as to whether or not they're the team that everybody thinks they are. I don't like them for whatever reason. I don't think they're as strong as everybody says they are. This hat's pretty pimp, though. I got to admit, that old school Randall Cunningham hat. I'm going to pick Seattle. And the only reason I'm picking Seattle is because both teams are kind of slumping. We need it more than they do. And if this team has any guts left, they're going to have to throw them all out on the field to beat Philly. And I think if they do, it'll just I'll be able to finally put my stamp on Philly ain't as good as everybody thinks they are. If they can't beat a team that's lost 4 in a row, I mean, I realized it was a gauntlet. It was like the 49ers twice, Dallas, and then the Rams who beat us twice. If they can't beat us, then they don't deserve my respect at all, and I will just trash on them the rest of the season. which is why I can confidently wear this hat right now as I talk about the game. But I'm going to say Seattle scores 35 on this struggling defense, and that our defense somehow puts it together. Not worried about Jalen Hurts' arm. I'm worried about his legs. And I think if Jamal Adams can do anything, it's better against the run than it is against the pass. So if he mirrors the quarterback and he doesn't overshoot him because he's just trying too hard or whatever his stupid ass excuse is, that we can win this game. Again, not confident in this, but I'm going to say 35-28 Seattle.
All right. I'm gonna say Seattle as well, and the reason that I'm gonna say it is because kind of the reason you said they lost 4 in a row. I feel like they've been a lot of tough games. It's not like they're losing against bad teams. They're losing to some good teams. Philly, we were just talking about how their defense is very vanilla and they don't really run a lot of crazy stuff. Where I think Gino has DK, we got Lockett. I feel like those two alone, he can just, spread the field out. They can work all of those routes. And I feel like Gino needs a kind of a bounce back. He missed a week. He's kind of maybe is he going to be fresh? The team, I would assume, would say this is way better than Drew Lock. So I feel like that's got to give them a momentum, a boost, something like their man's back. So I'm taking Seattle at home. I'm also going to say in a high score, 31-24. G-Men.
Well, guys, I'm not sure what you've been watching or what you think about the past related to this game, which is apparently nothing because even if Philadelphia is allowing a lot of yardage and points, its offense is much better than Seattle's. So I think Philly can just score about 38 points and Seattle 27. It still won't be one of those impressive performances, because they allow 27 points, but they'll get back on track and Seattle's back in hell.
Gobo.
Yeah, I mean, this has the makings of a trap game for sure. Philly is definitely a better team, but yeah, like Dame says, historically they haven't played well in Seattle in prime time. It's going to be loud. It could potentially be cold. I mean, Philly, there's a lot statistically going against them, but you're going to say to say that this team with that O-line, with Jalen Hurts, with that defense, like they're going to lose 3 in a row. I don't see it happening. That and 2 of you guys picked Seattle already, and like I've said, I'm trying to gain some games back. So I'm taking Philly on the road. We'll go 30-13. I say, yeah, Gino gets worked a little bit at home.
All right. Well, that concludes week 18 of NFHell. Ricky's picks are next. We will be back next week to talk about these games and talk about next week's game and see how far we've either went into hell or if we're rising out. Midwest Jet, Dames Marvs, G-Men Jeffs, Gobo.
Enjoy your chicken cutlets.
What's good? What's really good, everybody? Ricky Montalvo back here again with you for the Week 15 NFL slate. Sliding on into another losing week for Shaboy as we drop and fumble the bag once again, and all hope seems lost with doom and gloom out the fucking wazoo. Congratulations to all of you that may have gotten into your fantasy football playoffs. I was able to go 2 of 3 this year, but of course, the league that matters the most, I finished 11th place. So here we are. Had some fun. Hope you did too. Best of luck to all of you. But fantasy, get out of here because we got some recovering to do here as we move on a 21-23, 48% clip rate of Ricky's picks on the year. The market continues to be Shinosokai, man. I don't know. It's just been bad. But we persist. The bad beats keep coming. But so do I, motherfuckers. And hopefully you haven't quit. And you're going to keep riding with me here as we desperately fight to get our money back, or otherwise Christmas is done. It's canceled. We're not doing this year. So let's review what we did last week. We had the Panthers plus 5.5, and my boy Manny Fresh, shout out to you, texted me after that game and said, stop betting the Panthers. They're terrible. They're awful. And to you, I say I will probably be on the Panthers again this coming week. Won't be part of Ricky's picks here, but chances are I'll be on that number. A final score of 6-28 as they traveled on the road to the Saints. A position that I felt really strong about, one of my bigger positions of the weekend, believe it or not, was the Panthers. The Panthers outgaining in total yards 300-200 against the Saints, with a dominant rushing performance of 204-97, even passing yards, with more first downs, 10 minutes more time of possession, and fewer punts, with even more total plays all coming out of the Panthers. And they lose 6-28 because of the turnovers. It's a part of betting a young quarterback in Bryce Young. It just didn't go our way. They were floating around the number forever until the turnovers started happening. I'm going to get more into that later on as a little teaser for you, my friends. We had the Bears plus 3.5. Not much to talk about there. Bears on the outright. Lions regression. I told you last week it was still kind of coming. They need to turn things around here. The Lions do. Bears continue to improve. And then we have the Chiefs minus 2.5. So this was like the big game, kind of one of the marquee games of the weekend. The Bills traveling to the Chiefs. We backed the number of the Chiefs underneath the field goal. Teaser protection came in as the number shrunk down to 1.5 at a lot of books where the Bills were getting teased left and right. So I was never sweating this game, even when they were down 14-0, the Chiefs. And we got exactly what I wanted, which was the end of the game. Mahomes with the ball last. I was just sitting really comfortably as I watched the game. I did not sweat it. I thought that what we saw happen was going to happen, where the Chiefs get the go-ahead touchdown and win the game at home. But obviously, we get the call that we got. And I told you guys I'm not going to bitch about refs. He lined up in the neutral zone. They decided to call it there. I really didn't like it, them calling it. I would have thrown the flag, and then I would have went and talked to each of them, but I would have just picked up the flag, essentially. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we saw a very stark contrast between that game and the Eagles-Cowboys, right? So, yeah, you just saw one of the greatest plays I've ever seen on a football field, with Kelsey throwing it back to Tony. You get the go-ahead touchdown. We cash our bet. We go 2-1 on Ricky's picks. On the other side of that, I was on the Cowboys. I told you guys last week it wasn't official, but that I was going to be on the Cowboys more than likely against the Eagles. I have CeeDee Lamb in fantasy. I'm on a position of minus 3.5 on the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb catches the ball, goes into the end zone, scores a touchdown. There's a flag on the play. And they pick it up and they just go, there is no foul. This happened multiple times that game. And I can't really give you the dirty details of what was not being called. But the point I'm trying to get to is that we've had a lot of illegal contact, a lot of illegal man downfield. And here we have a marquee play with millions of dollars on the line, and they didn't want to say, you know what, I'm going to pick that up. This is a no call. I'm just going to say there is no foul. Then you go to Andy Reid, you go to Kadarius, and you say, hey, you were lined up kind of incorrect there. But that's just my opinion. It's really making football rough and tough to watch. And that's not even from a betting perspective, because honestly, like, I didn't have that much money on the game, on that Chiefs game. Just unfortunate that we were kind of robbed of that. But I disagree with Mahomes, like, hey, they had the right to call it. And I'm not saying that they didn't have the right to call it. That's just the way I would have done it. And you saw a lot of that with the Cowboys. And I think the NFL needs to look into this more in the future of how much did this really impact the play, and are we really going to fucking call this? But I digress. This is what happens when you get into bed with gambling as well, NFL, which you should have never fucking done. Anyways, moving on to the slate, my friends. Ricky's picks. Let's get after it. I am not going to falter here. Keep trusting myself. I'm going to go with my gut, my friends. It's worked for me in the past, and that's our lesson. Don't quit. We got a few more weeks here. Let's keep going. And for the first pick of Ricky's picks, we have the Vikings traveling to the Bengals of Cincinnati. Saturday game. That's right. Saturday games are coming up as college football has kind of gone away until we get to their postseason. The line currently sitting 3.5. We've got some movement right now. The public leaning towards the Bengals while money is on the Vikings. This number was at 4. It's gone down to 3.5. Give me the Vikings here plus 3.5. I was able to get the 4, but take it at 3.5 here. We're betting on the Vikings defense here, which has just been outstanding. And I cannot believe what Brian Flores has done with this defensive unit to turn around from being so bad last year. I have personally been on the Bengals the past 2 weeks to profit. Jake Browning playing absolutely fire, like just playing so well at such a high level. And I feel like the time to sell is now, especially after watching that ugly mess of a game with the Vikings and Raiders of this past week. I don't really care who's starting for the Vikings, but I hope it's Nick Mullins. Dobbs, he just can't throw the ball. A lot of his variance has come with him running the ball on these busted plays and just kind of getting away with it. And I think Nick Mullins can actually start to kind of get this team back to where they need to be throwing the ball. Jefferson, maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't. I think maybe he does play, just depending on the severity of what's going on with that chest injury. We'll know more about that. I'm sure a lot of fantasy friends are looking deeply into that one. But I just don't think that this is a good spot for Cincinnati to be laying this many points at home. I think that the Vikings, with their blitz scheme, can do enough to make Jake Browning, a young quarterback, uncomfortable. And like I said before, Browning is just playing out of his mind. I've streamed him actually the past 2 weeks, and in a couple different leagues, and he's been doing good. So, give me the Vikings plus 3.5 on the road versus the Cincinnati Bengals, who I think are just a little bit overvalued here. And I think pros will agree with me as the number goes on. I could see this getting to 3. But give me the Bengals first pick, Ricky's picks. And moving on to our second play, we have the Bears at the Browns. Excuse me. Yes, absolutely, at those Cleveland Browns. This is a Sunday game at noon. The line currently sitting at 3.5. Lots of movement on the Bears side. We've got money and tickets on the Bears, little action on the Browns right now. Professionals kind of came in. They hit this. This was sitting at 2.5. They've bumped it up all the way to 3.5. And my friends, what a gift that is for us, because we are going to be purchasing that 3.5 with the Chicago Bears on the road. Is it time to sell on the Browns, or excuse me, on the Bears? I don't think so. We took them last week against the Lions. We're going to take them this week on the road versus the Browns. I do not think this is a Bears trap spot. I like what Fields has been doing with his RPO. We saw it last week versus the Lions, extending the plays, getting it done on the ground, and doing enough through the air. I don't think that changes here. The Browns typically are a position you want to back at home, especially their defense. They just play so much better. But what we're fading here is actually Joe Flacco coming off of this resurgent, amazing game that people are starting to meme about. You know, they could have paid Flacco instead of giving Deshaun all that money. Anyways, I don't want to get off beat here. I think Flacco comes back down to earth and shows you how much of a potato that he is and still is. He's not the guy. They tried this with the Jets. It was a great game from him, but they kind of got away with the cover and the win last week, off of some fluky plays that I won't dive too far into. Fields' legs give an X factor to this game where I feel like it's going to keep the Browns off base and extend the drives to keep us close to the number on this 3.5. Give me the value with the Bears. Give me Fields. Give me that improved defense with the Bears doing enough to stop Flacco from getting any type of momentum. Stay with the Bears. I know pros are on the Browns, but I don't care. I think that this is a nice little number here. Take it. You know, maybe you could wait on it, see if the pros keep hitting it and get a 4 or plus, but I'm comfortable with locking in the 3.5 for Ricky's picks here, second pick of Ricky's picks. And moving on, we have another noon game on Sunday as the Giants travel to the New Orleans Saints. And you don't have to guess where I'm going with this one, friends. Based off of what I said to you earlier, we're talking about what the Saints are. Professionals coming in. This line was at 4.5, and they have backed the Saints here in this position, saying it's time to buy on the Saints and it's time to sell off of the Giants off of this fantastic win they just got. Very emotional in prime time, beating my beloved Green Bay Packers in an upset. Tommy DeVito, the chicken cutlets, Tommy DeVito, Buca Talifaniano. Isn't it just so on brand that I sat here on this pod a couple weeks ago talking shit about him, and then he beats the Packers? That is so just chef's kiss, karma in my face. Good for the Giants. And good for us, because we're backing the Giants here on the +6. That's right. The pendulum has swung too far again. Way too far. What are we doing here? A fluke win from the Saints. I just gave you all the stats of how the Panthers outperformed the Saints. And here we are again getting a Giants team that has the proper scheme that has been laid out by the Panthers. Don't turn the ball over. Run it with your quarterback. Run it with Saquon Barkley. Chuba Hubbard just gashed them on the ground. Again, 204 rush yards to 97. Carolina should have covered and won. Shout out Manny Fresh. Saints have no business catching 6 here. I think DeVito will get exposed at some point. His game and his style, this little 1-2 punch that he's doing where he's kind of getting these kind of nice throws off and it's just kind of working and finessing. I think he'll get caught, but I don't think it's by the Saints. 6 points is too much for this team that has no business getting this number. I've actually looked back. There are only 3 games this year where the Saints comfortably beat their opponents. Only 3. They typically play better at home. But now I'm getting Saquon and I'm getting a mobile quarterback. You can beat them on the ground. You can possess the ball. You have a defense which is playing better football against a banged up Derek Carr I don't buy into the sell here. I know the pros are because the pros saw what we all saw. DeVito playing the game of his life, beating the Packers, and Joe Barry's shit situational football awareness, the DC of the Packers at the end of that game. And it should be a spot where we do buy on the Saints, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stick with what I know here, and that is that the Saints are bad and they have no business being handicapped here. Pros have bet it up. I'll take the value. I'm going to go with the Giants +6, third pick, Ricky's picks. 3 ugly dogs for you here. But we're not done. Girl. We're going to hit this again because I've been teasing these big games, and now it's time to get in on the big games. Cowboys at the Bills. 3:25 Sunday. The line tucked at the 2.5. The Bills are -2.5 against the hottest team in football, arguably next to the 49ers. Why are the Bills 2.5? Why is this not a pick? Why are the Cowboys favored? They're telling you what it is. It's easy. Give me the Buffalo Bills. -2.5, an undervalued team against the Cowboys peaking right now in the NFL. Cowboys are sitting really comfortable at the 1 seed after they just played the Eagles, who were on that murderer's row of games where they took on the Niners and the Bills and the Cowboys, and they had faced the Cowboys before that, and just all over intense, hard-fought football games. Well, guess what, Cowboys? It's your turn now. The Cowboys going on the road to take on the Bills. The next week on the road to take on the Dolphins. Back home to face the Lions, and they finish the season off versus the Commanders. And let me paint you a picture. Let me tell you a story, my friends. The script is in, and your boy Ricky has been given it. The Bills, they get the Cowboys at home. They were 6-6. A heartbreaking loss versus the Eagles. Off the bye. They beat the Chiefs. They take my money. But a little bit of Ricky was smiling in the back. I hate to say it. But why, Ricky? Back the Chiefs. It's because the script is in. The Bills beat the Cowboys. They go on the road versus the Chargers, who just lost Justin Herbert to the IR. They win again. They face the Patriots at home. They win again. And then the final game of the year, Bills at Dolphins. Possibly for the division. So why are you excited about that, Ricky? You're not a Bills fan. 20-1, Josh Allen MVP. A position that I invested in as the season has gone on. I bet it back when the Bills beat the Dolphins, right before they beat the Dolphins. And I believe I gave that to you guys here on Ricky's Picks, that the Bills were going to beat the Dolphins earlier in the year when the Dolphins were all the rage. I hit it again. Because this is the story, the script that the NFL wants, where the Bills at 6-6 win out, 11 wins, and Josh Allen, who has incredible stats this year, yeah, he turns it over, but has incredible stats this year, wins the NFL MVP. And Dak, who goes on this murderer's row, lets it slip. Give me the Bills, -2.5 here. A number which should be a little tighter. I imagine this goes to 3, as the books are asking for Dallas money because the public and the money currently sitting on the Bills. Could be walking into it, but I think it's happening. I think it's happening. I think the Bills kind of go on a run here. Cowboys kind of fade here. Fourth pick, rookies picks. Merry Christmas, my friends. Let's do it. Let's go 4-0. Let's do it. Come on. Let's go. I'm feeling it. Y'all are feeling it. I hope this got you excited, fired up. If you get this, go take $20 of your hard-earned money and throw it on a Josh Allen MVP ticket. And if it loses, just smile with the fact that you know that I lost a decent amount of money on that. My friends, be well, love each other, take care of each other. Gamble responsibly, stick to your unit size. Let's rally. Let's get it back above water. Drown him, Ricky. Drown him. We're drowning. Come on. Throwing you a life raft. This has been Ricky's Bricks with Ricky Montalvo. And I will see all of you in the trenches.